Hey everyone, and welcome to a special spectacular edition of Models Workshop After Hours. We've got both of our newest members in the channel. I have to go AFK for a little while because I got to go cook the hot dogs and the brats, but they're going to be here. They're going to be talking about stuff. Maybe they'll talk a little bit of 9th edition. Maybe they'll talk about the car game that Mike's like just absolutely ooh with. If you ever listen to What's Up with Mike and Jeff, well, you have Mike and Jeff here right now. We also have Guildy, and maybe Jim might join us later if he ever answers me. And then, of course, I'll be back here in just a little bit. So everyone go ahead and get to talking, get to chatting, and get to painting, and I will be back in a minute.
All right. How's everybody doing today?
Good. It's the weekend.
I'm not too bad.
How was the birthday party today, Jeff?
My granddaughter had a fantastic third birthday party. It was awesome.
Aww.
So,
Cool age.
Did you guys do anything fun? Like,
she tried to kill her grandfather by making me chase her around the house for 2.5 hours.
For some reason, that sounds like fun. Oh,
I walk in the door, she sees me, and she squats down, puts her hands on her knees, and goes, "Bop, bop, come and get me." And that was my next 2 hours, me chasing her around the house.
Hey,
Well,
so sleep good tonight.
Yeah, the hospital will probably have to sedate me, but yeah, I should sleep pretty good.
Well, the show went off without a hitch this morning. Without you being there, I had to talk a lot, and you know how I feel about that.
Well, you didn't have a script, and that always threw you off.
Oh, yes, I definitely didn't have a script. People started throwing out comments for me to talk about things.
There you go.
Wait, people do scripts?
When we, all right, we do a little show in Arizona called What's New with Mike and Jeff. And previously, when I was living in Arizona, it was basically done in the gaming room of Imperial Outpost Games in Phoenix.
I've heard a lot about that place.
Yeah, it's a great place. It's a great story. You ever get a chance to stop in, I highly recommend it. But we would talk about what Mike and I were working on, but then we'd also go through what was new in the shop and what was going on in the shop. And to keep that all organized, Mike would come in every day with a yellow pad that literally had a bullet points of what we're going to talk about and when. And then I took it upon myself, being me, to find a way to mess that up as often as I could. So,
well, and it was real easy because all you had to do was throw some dice in front of me, and I would just get lost in playing with dice.
It was really funny. Every time the store got in new dice, especially the new Goober dice that GW does with the unique sets they do, I literally just open a pack and throw them on the table, and I'd lose Mike for like 5-10 minutes. So,
well, who doesn't love dice?
Apparently, well, Mike loves dice. It's easily distracted.
I love it.
Rolling them, that's just really, really satisfying.
I love accessories to game. I don't care about the games. I like the accessories to them.
Yeah.
So Cody printed me up some dashboards for Gaslands.
Oh, sweet.
See, I figured the car game that Larry was talking about was probably, oh man, did Larry finally discover Gaslands?
I don't know if Larry's discovered Gaslands or not.
I would be shocked. I mean, come on, we're on Gaslands too.
Yeah, so I'm completely addicted to it.
I think Mattel still makes Hot Wheels cars, but they've actually seen a stock bump from the amount of sales going on in the Phoenix area for Hot Wheels cars.
I'm not surprised. Hot Wheels and Mattel and all that stuff. Yeah, we got bunches of Hot Wheels. I'm trying so hard not to really get into it because I don't need more conversioning opportunities. I'm still working on my shit for my orc army.
Stop resisting. Just give in.
But I'm the only one that would play is the problem. Although I'm very tempted to take it and play with the kids that I'm watching because they're 10 or 12 now. This new
perfect.
group. And I'm like, that's perfect. If I can get permission, I will.
It's a fun game. There's not a... some people took it, especially if you're watching younger children, some people took it and use Super Mario cars. And they just run around bumping into each other on a Super Mario kind of track.
Speaking of Super Mario Brothers, have you seen the new memes for the Space Marines?
Oh, God, yes. They're hilarious.
Which one? I kind of like the new bike with the painted green and they're mowing grass.
Yeah.
That's a good one,
in the
too.
grim darkness of the 40k universe, there's only a lawn chair.
No, in the Grimdark universe of the 40,000 whatever, there's only there's only Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the new The new box set looks good. Look cool. It's Necrons and Space Marines, which I'm kind of happy about.
Well, the Necrons look really awesome. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not into the. I mean, my thing is I play orcs, so I only play Space Marines pretty much in 30k. So I really don't give a shit what they do with them. Except where I can beg, borrow, and steal for orc.
I'm an orc. I love I just picked up the Prophecy of the Wolf or whatever. So I can get Gaz.
Yes.
I just sold my painted Gaz Gothraka on eBay.
Yes, you did. Yeah. It was painted beautifully.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I have my. He's on a boat. He is on a boat. He's on part of a boat that's landing on a shore because my dude is. My whole army theme is kind of like pirate. So I wanted him to blend in. So I took him off his base and yeah.
Doing the freebooters?
Yeah, kind of. It's kind of a swarm. It's based on freebooters. I haven't actually gotten any freebooters yet. Painted. Like most typical orcs, I've been completely distracted by other things. So now I'm distracted by looting this Baneblade. This is my second Baneblade. The first one I got from Larry was a what do you call it? It needed help. And I was like, that makes it perfect for being an orc vehicle.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, so I looted that. And then I read about the Fortress upgrade for orcs and I was like, dude, I want to make one of those. So I'm sitting here making the biggest freaking DACA I possibly can. I've got the Sector Mechanicus crane.
Yes.
It's going to be part of it to load the DACA into the gun, and yeah, so it's going to be fun.
That's awesome.
It's like Plasticard right now.
Back in the day, GW put the actual stencil plans to actually scratch build a Baneblade. And I had built one. God, this was back in 90, maybe 94, 95. Back before Forge World, back before they had their own kit. And then I ended up using it for a few games, and then a guy really liked it, and I basically gave it to him, and he looted it for his orcs.
Yeah, it's I was surprised I knew the kit was relatively recent because it's got one of the newer colored manuals with it, but not everything is fucking numbered.
No, why would you number them?
Yeah, right. Really, thanks, guys. Thanks. I can figure out where all this shit goes. There's like 5 different guns because the kit can make literally, I think, 9 different variants. And oh my god, it's so cool though.
Just glue them on.
That's the good thing. Variants. So.
Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm putting. Let's see. So I got the crane. A friend of mine's got a Thingiverse kind of a mount for the crane that he made. So I'm going to try to get somebody to 3D print that for me, and then put that on the side and build up I have a turret on the other side. I mean, if you want to see any of this, guys, it's just on Twitter and stuff. But anyway, and then the idea is to put the big main gun in the middle, up higher, probably a good 2 or 3 inches higher than it normally would be. I originally wanted to stack like Militarum vehicles,
Sure.
But then I didn't realize how. I was like, oh crap, I'm going to need another Land Raider if I do that, and I don't want to waste a Land Raider doing that. So like, nah, never mind.
Hey, every Land Raider wasted one less Space Marines have.
Well, but I need them for my 30k army, so where they're actually good.
Do you use are you using the current Land Raider for 30k, or are you getting, or do you get the Forge World stuff?
Well, I got one of each.
Okay.
I got one with the Talons of the Emperor box, because it was kind of like almost free by the time you bought the box. I sold off the Sisters, paid for itself.
So you got the Custodes?
I got the Custodes, I got the tactical dudes for that came in that set. I kind of sold off most of the really wolfy dudes though. And then we did use some of those Sisters for my son's Drukari because he wanted his Trueborn to look different. And then I did buy the add-on kit for the Mark IIB.
Sweet.
Nice.
I have some Custodes as well. I do like my Custodes, the Golden Boys.
Mm-hmm.
I painted a few.
You did paint. You're painting a bunch of them, aren't you?
Hey, I got a commission for about 30 that I'm in the middle of. I have a bunch of them I'm working on. I'm still doing them and working on the custom bases I made for them.
Oh wow, my friend on Twitter, and Plastic Crack Dealer Mini Stomp.
Mini Stomp. I love Mini Stomp.
I know, right? Oh my god,
he's awesome.
Cool. He's so cool. He made me a deal on a while ago, and I still haven't got to them. But a bunch of Custode stuff and their collector's edition codex, which I really like because I really like the art.
Yeah.
And I haven't put any of them together yet because I'm just looking at them. I just want to do them in like non-metallic metal, but I don't know if I can. And then I sold the Virtus Praetors to make orc bikes, so.
That sounds like a lot of work trying to do those guys in non-metallic metals.
But they're such a small army. I mean, you know.
Not in 30K, they're not.
No, not in 30K. If I kind of am like, I want to do them, but then I'm afraid I'll end up starting another 30K army.
Yeah. Well, I did start the 30K Custode army. At one time, Jeff and I were going to play 30K.
Oh, cool.
We actually had how many people? We had like a good group of people.
There was like 6 of us that were planning on doing it.
Nice.
Something like 8th edition came out, and like 30K just disappeared.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're used to, I started in 7th, so it wasn't so hard to convert. But if I started in 8th, that would be like I'm still sitting here going, wait, this does what again? Because I get to play about once a month, at least I did before COVID. And I have to drive up to Atlanta, which is about 2 hours from my house, to meet with our group. And I'm like, it's the only place I've been able to play. So every time I do, I have to relearn how to play again. It's like, oh, God.
What do these dice do again?
Yeah. Then I got, oh, no, wait, that's 8th edition, or that's the orc rule, or that's the, God.
I don't want to hear it. I have 1st edition rules bounce around inside my head. I started playing in 1987. I sometimes I still want to grab sustained fire dice.
I'm happy I didn't start early because I would have the same problem. I'd be stuck on the first couple editions, which is kind of what's happened. I only started playing 5 years ago, maybe. I mean, I was around when all this stuff was going down, but there was no GW near me or anything like that. And I had no idea there was wargaming. We had scale models and like RPG type D&D figures, which I suckered my mom into letting me get. Art, Mom, look, it's art.
I'm painting stuff.
She was of the ilk of the, oh my God, it's of the devil and you're summoning real demons. I'm like, really, Mom?
Yeah.
Oh God.
We only do that on Fridays.
I've been in a store through my share of we're protesting the shop because they carry demonic stuff. I've seen that.
God.
On multiple occasions.
We had people out here going to town about the magic in Harry Potter. And I'm like, okay, the child abuse is fine, but the magic, God forbid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is a unique world we live in.
I get a little bothered now because D&D, of course, has become mainstream. And I remember the days when you had to, hide and you couldn't tell anybody what you did.
Yeah, it's one of those things we have to, I mean, I was in a weird place because I played with my brothers a little bit and a small group of friends and my sister because we were hiding it from my mom. And so we're sitting here late at night making shit up because we have no ideas what the rules were. We couldn't afford the rule book. We just had a few of the adventures, and we figured out, DEX was DEX and all that stuff all on our own. And then when we finally got the rule book, we were figuring that shit out. And I'm like, so we didn't really have the whole, ew, it's a girl, and in our thing going on. But then I met my husband, and we were playing together, so it kind of,
Rules are optional.
Yeah, I mean, we did a lot of crazy stuff. The last game I actually played, we had something. I don't know. He was just trying to wrap it up because it was going to be the last time we could meet. We're playing. Our DM's a 17-year-old. These kids thought we were about their age. We're 23, and but it was the only group we could find. So we're all playing in Huntington Beach with these really cool dad, really cool kids, have a lot of fun. And our last thing, we were like on some UFO discovering Elvis or something. It was crazy.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
I mean, D&D can be so much fun.
As long as you don't get caught up into trying to make it real.
Yeah.
So
I was a little shocked some of these people that are, I mean, I get the tropes in the older groups, for the adults. They're, there's this romance thing going on, and I'm like, romance? What the hell are you playing?
Yeah.
But I played with my kids, and then we play with a group of friends that are in Australia that we play online usually, and we play with their kids, and there's a little bit of the flirting stuff, but we certainly don't go anywhere near any of the other adult crap.
Yeah, that's no good.
Because we're playing with our kids, and
Yes.
nobody wants to do that with your parents.
Yeah, anything you add that kind of an atmosphere to, though, it can go bad quick. For a number of I've had a couple D&D groups where there was, the player characters or the characters having a relationship, with each other, and then the actual real world relationships got involved, and it's like, okay, it can break up a group pretty quick.
People get confused. I think
They do.
After coming from mostly gaming from MMOs in the beginning, more because that's what was available, and stuff. Like UO and all that. There's the people that basically they are their character, and then there's the people who are driving their character around the screen to see how bad they can get them. And that's the stuff they can do to them. It's more like a doll thing, I guess. And I'm of the latter camp, so I have a lot more fun going, what can we get into now?
What kind of trouble can we make?
Yeah. And I don't know, it's a little bit of a different style of role playing, I think.
That's kind of why I went into miniature gaming, because it's a little more straightforward.
Yeah, that makes sense. I could see that. You don't have that a need to identify with your character. You're identifying with your whole army, really, or sort of. You're commanding it.
I have no romantic connection to this hobgoblin I'm painting.
Some of these people that do backstories, I've never enjoyed doing a backstory. I like to see how things, I'll give my character a couple of ideas, and usually they're pretty similar, probably, but I like to see how things evolve based on where they are in the world. Same with my army. They don't get names. They got to go out and earn them.
Get the badge of honor.
Yeah, if in this fight, this thing happened, and then suddenly they have a history, and it's one that's relevant, because they can, not just 5-page backstory of why you're a frickin' orphan again, or whatever.
I write a short story for every army I make for 40k.
Well, it's fine if you do that. I don't have any problem with people doing that. I just can't do it myself. It just doesn't come to me like that.
Well, I think it's also fair to let you know that Jeff actually wrote a book for GW.
Two actually.
Oh, 2.
Yeah.
Sorry.
2. Yeah, get it right, man.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to offend.
Oh, God. Which 2?
I wrote, I picked up, me and my writing partner picked up where Will King left off with the Ragnar series. We wrote Sons of Fenris and Wolf's Honor.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, I have not read them because
they're older.
They're early 90s books or late early 2000s books. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I lose track of time. I'm old.
Don't we all? Although I think Jeff may have bumped me as not being as I'm no longer the oldest now.
I usually do.
That's okay. I'm happy with that. I don't really care, but it's funny when you hear people talking, and then I'm like, oh yeah, my son's your age.
I was sitting at the game room or the academy, the painting area at IOG, and I'm talking. I have there's a buddy of ours back there that was trying to sell a squat army.
Oh.
And so I love squats. I thought they were the greatest thing since sliced bread. The only army I've ever played for 40k is Space Wolves, but I had a squad army that I put together. That was the only other army I ever did and have ever done. And finally, one of the guys that was painting, he looked at me and he goes, "What are squats?" And so instantly you could just tell my age. I just like, oh man, I am old.
Well, after you got done giving them the evil death stare from above for 10 minutes, then you
yeah, how can you not know what squats are?
No,
yes.
Dude, I'll do you one better though. When you get involved in a conversation where the person is like, "Oh, hey, have you heard of this really cool thing called squats?"
Yes. Yeah.
That's when I'm like, okay, I wasn't around in GW for that point in time, but even I can pick up on this stuff, and I'm just kind of like, oh my god.
And they have no idea what they're talking about.
Well, yeah, there's the whole pre-internet stuff is still, it kills me because I have these, I do preschool and I do Right now I'm doing daycare, basically, summer program for older kids who are not preschool age. They're like 8 to 10 to 12. And it's like they're sitting here talking to me about all these things on the computer. Oh, just click this, it'll work. Just click this, it'll work. And I'm like, would you stop? I'm trying to set up the computer so you can use it or whatever, And I'm like, they're like, well, just do this. And I'm like, yes, I know how to disable Flash. Thank you. Or and they have, but they don't really know what they're clicking. They're not reading it. They're literally just clicking it so they can play the game and do the thing. And it's no wonder so many of them are causing viruses on their computers.
Click and go.
Pretty much. Oh.
So you're working on your Blood Bowl team, Mike?
Yes, I did my test. I'm doing my test paint of my Hobgoblin for my Chaos Dwarfs. So it's turning out quite nice. I'm quite happy with it so far. So now
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Then I just have to. Then I'll just crank out the other 7. Still undecided on bases. I don't know if I want to go out and buy bases for them and do kind of like a decorative base, or if I'm just going to do the old-fashioned green flocking and call it done.
I was gonna say, why not like AstroTurf with those? I love the ones that they do with like the lines spray painted on.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I would do the green. I'll get the really short, tough grass, the static grass, and then I'll just paint lines on it.
That'd be cool. Yeah. I've got some of the Blood Bowl teams, actually I've got some Blood Bowl teams and then some aftermarket Blood Bowl teams, just because I wanted the rats.
The rats? The new ones, or you got the old ones?
The new ones. I don't have the old ones. I have the old Mordheim, though. The rats. I traded somebody for those, and I was like, yeah. Haven't put them together yet. I've got too many orcs to do, too many things.
Well, how big's your orc army going to be? You've been working on it.
Yeah, God. It's about 6,400 points now of built stuff. And I've got a metric ton of shit to put together. And I started a grot army.
Just all grots?
Yeah. I'd say started a grot army. I have plans for a grot army. I've been collecting stuff, so I have 15 boxes of grots. I have of the GW grots.
You're talking the old like grots with the crazy rifles in their hands, or are you talking about the new ones?
No, they're the new ones.
Okay, the newer ones. Okay.
Yeah, the older ones. I have a few of the older metal ones that I've purchased on eBay that are in my regular army, my orc army. So, because I have like about 40 or 50 grots in that army, and then I'm sitting here looking at some of the Age of Sigmar, the old goblins, basically, those grots, and then the others, and some of the Blood Bowl stuff, and I'm waiting for those snotlings to come out.
Yes, the snotling team?
Yes, it's going to be so cool. I've got to get some of those.
There's someone knocking on my door. I'll be right back.
I wish we had video so we could see him come in. When we do our show on Saturday mornings, you can see the back of his. I'm always in the back of his room, and I'm waiting for someone to come in and I don't know, have something crazy happen.
No axe murderer today.
Well, that's kind of what we're hoping for. we're waiting. No, I have a big orc army as well. I have a ton of fantasy orcs and 40k orcs.
Cool. I'm not as keen on the fantasy ones. I like Skaven. But I did incorporate the new Iron Jaws. New-ish.
I got a whole Iron Jaw army painted.
Oh, God. I have... They're my knobs.
There you go.
I took the what are those called? The smaller orc...
Yeah, Ardboys.
Ardboys, yes.
They're the old black orcs, but they're now called Ardboys.
Right. Yeah, I love their scope. I took them and made them part of my my knobs, which I've painted 5, so I'm getting there. Right after, well, when I started orcs, I really didn't understand the difference between the knobs and the boys. I get them completely confused.
Sure.
And I had a lot of knobs. And then when I started actually getting to play games, I realized that it's all about the boys, pretty much. Yeah. And so I never painted them. I had all these converted knobs, and I never painted them. And then I finally started, with this new edition, I'm like, yeah, let's paint these suckers up, because my friend Grayed Out on Twitter and I like to do orc versus orc, and he had a bunch of knobs. They were kick-ass.
You get to play with Great Elf?
Yeah, yeah.
Holy crap!
Yeah, he's up in Atlanta. So we played Horus Heresy together. That's how we met. And then I played.
He's got a gorgeous army for Horus Heresy.
Yes, his Alpha Legion is so gorgeous. His orcs are too, though. I know he doesn't get time to do them.
He does a lot of rust effects and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, next time you see him, tell him I said hi.
Yeah.
I got a bunch. I got like 4 of his dice bags, but I've been following him on Twitter forever.
Yeah, his dice bags are addictive.
Yes.
I have a bunch. My son has a bunch. He made me my Magic the Gathering one, and and just I'm like
Yeah, very lucky you.
I love it. And half the time if I order, I'm like, can I pick it up at our next game? And he's like, yes, sir.
Well, what's cool about one of the things for me, anyways, is playing against someone. It just looks amazing on the table.
Oh God, yeah, that's the best part. Seeing them all up. Even if you're not winning, it's like seeing them all together is cool.
Yeah, just do you ever go to the Vegas Open?
No, it's been on the list. I have because of course Gedgie's around that area.
Because they do a 30K tournament up there.
Oh, so did right before COVID, I think it was NashCon. I think there was one at NashCon that I was fixing to go to and couldn't manage. Yeah. But then COVID, so it got canceled.
But it's always neat to see the 30K tables because all those guys pull out all the big stompy robots and all the cool, unique machines that you see, all the Forge World stuff.
Oh God, yeah. I love the Mechanic Army.
Oh yeah. Well, don't they have the big drill? Didn't that look like,
Yeah, they have those. They have the really big one, and then the smaller one I think is the Sisters or Astra Militarum. It's like a Terminex or something.
Yeah, that's the Sisters of Scion or whatever, or not Sisters of the Custode Sister.
Yeah. Sisters of Silence. There we go.
Silence, that's it.
Yeah.
We'll get those words out.
We'll get there eventually.
Jeff, so who was at your door?
My granddaughter.
It wasn't the.
She wanted
my other granddaughter.
Oh.
I have 3 grandkids, 2 daughters, 2 girls, and the boy.
Oh.
So.
Yes.
I don't yet, which is a good thing.
Soon, maybe not. We don't know. Your children aren't that old, are they?
Yeah, technically.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, I got a 23-year-old and a 21-year-old and a 19-year-old.
That's kind of old.
So, yeah, I mean, I was 23 when I got married, which is really weird when I think about it. Yeah. But, with this, I know that the COVID thing has really hit my 19-year-old hard. He was all fixing to set out on his own and, make his own way, and he had a job, and he almost had his license. And he did just get his license, but it took a while. And he lost his job, although he's got it back. I mean, it just...
Sure.
He couldn't afford to move out.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It makes it kind of hard.
Yeah, it's hard nowadays. My middle son's home from college, so he's not in Atlanta anymore at the moment, which is probably good considering.
Yeah, they're kind of burning that city down.
Yeah. Not a good time. I mean, I think
Is he going to go back to college?
I don't know if they're going to be open or if they're going to be online only. I'm kind of hoping for the latter because it's like, dude, all the other language programs were online only. Why does his have to be the only one that's not?
Yeah.
And then he has to shell out another $5,000 for housing and shit.
Oh yeah. Well, if you can keep him at the house, save him some money so he doesn't get out of college deep in debt.
Yeah, right. It's insane how much college costs now. It really is.
Yeah.
Awesome. I just found a new use for my, what is this thing? One of the stacks from the, is it the Alchemite stack? Anyway, from the AdMech, type industrial terrain set. It's holding all my, it's holding all my, polystyrene rod.
Oh, there you go. Now you're talking.
I'm actually organizing my goddamn desk because I couldn't find anything I needed, and I went out and bought some more polystyrene and plastic carded paper, stuffs and whatever, and it's like, oh my god.
You never have enough.
Yeah, exactly.
So, if you're doing heavy conversions, you never have enough.
This is true. I also am Googling all these, calipers on Micromark.
I love that place.
I know. And it was so ironic because I went out to the mail today, and guess what catalog I got in the mail?
Oh, the Micromark.
Yeah. Summer sale.
Yeah, between that and the Harbor Freight catalog.
Oh, yeah. I got to be careful to look at those.
Yes. Lots of good tools. Jeff, what are you working on today, buddy?
I'm finishing up some an Escher gang for our buddy Carlos.
Ah, Mr. Carlos.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw on Twitter or Facebook the Jericho and the Belisarius call.
Yes.
Those are both for Carlos as well.
Oh.
So,
cool. Are these for Carlos owns Mechanical Warhorse, so I don't know if you're familiar with his terrain.
Ooh, no. Tell me
yeah,
more.
Yeah, he does MDF terrain, but he does something really cool with it. His piping, you actually just use PVC piping instead of that he just makes the brackets and you can kind of adjust it accordingly. And he's got some really cool stuff.
I probably have seen it then. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
It's probably one of the best dystopian style terrain around. I mean, it's really good stuff.
But he uses all Jeff's miniatures for his display photos.
I paint a lot for him. He doesn't use only mine, but he does a lot of the stuff himself. But nice. I've done a lot of stuff for him.
Yeah,
he's a good guy. I've known him forever. So.
And for you, that's a long time.
It is back when we had to chisel our own miniatures out of stone.
Yeah, man, and that flock never lasted through the summer.
I found if you use tufts of saber-tooth tiger hair, they work pretty well.
I was using the other. I was using the tail. That's what's wrong.
Yeah, no, I'm doing this last little bit. I have a really weird process when I do commission work because I bounce from project to project. So I'll have 10 projects really close to getting done all at the same time, and then I stop and I'll focus on one and knock it out. Because I get bored easy painting the same thing over and over again.
That sounds familiar. That sounds like me in all my projects.
Well, it's got to be a little bit challenging for commission painters.
Oh, God, yeah, especially if you're doing, like, whole armies.
Yeah. Luckily, Necromunda gang, how many models is in the gang?
10.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, 10, right? So...
Yeah, it's just a 10-man box set. Or 10, in this case, female box set.
Yeah.
The are really cool, so...
So you pretty busy with commissions then?
Not too bad. I have a couple regular customers I do stuff for all the time, and
cool.
they keep me kind of busy. And then I do a lot of the terrain for Imperial Alpha's games. I just did a whole bunch.
Oh, but that would be my dream job.
I usually post a lot of that stuff. I actually post all of it on my Twitter account and on my Facebook page, Oval Studios.
Oh, okay. Jesus, I'm following you. Oh, my God. Never know who Larry's talking to half the time. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Oh, good. I found my hexagon rod. Excellent.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, because I like to use for the bolts.
Yes, you just cut them a little bit long and glue them on and then just file them flat.
Yeah.
It's good to know that I'm not the only one that has that problem, that I can't find things in my painting studio.
Oh God, I was just complaining to a friend of mine. We were like, Michael grayed out, talking about his, because he has his painting areas, also his sewing area, and we're like, I finally moved my sewing stuff to another desk, but still, I'm finding if I'm going to do converting, I have to swap everything out on my desk. If I'm going to do painting, I have to swap everything else out on my desk. Whoops.
Uh-oh, something fell.
Yeah.
Gravity.
More bits. And then if I'm going to do terrain, I have to swap everything out. So it gets like, oh my God. I know, first world problems.
Well, you should do what Jeff do and just have multiple desks for all your different things.
I have three tables. One of them I use for painting miniatures. One is for actually building. I do a lot of plastic models as well. And then the third one is my computer, and that's where I do all my video stuff.
Oh man, that is so. I wish.
It occupies 90% of my bedroom.
I basically kicked the kids out of the spare room. It wasn't a spare room. It was like, I have 3 boys. So I was like, well, if I put them all in one room, they'll want to leave the house really, early on in life. No, they're also living with me.
And they'll get along so great.
Oh yeah, obviously. But, we made this like part of the library. The kids' books are the teenage year, age young adult books are all in here. And that's great. There's lots of cat toys. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to put my crafting table in here. So I made a whole crafting table and a door. Got all these shelves and stuff. And my oldest has his desk in here. I'm waiting for him to move out so I can put my shit over in his corner.
Tell him to leave the desk.
Yeah, right. Or like, I need that right there. You can take everything else.
You don't need a desk. What are you going to do with a desk?
Oh, man.
That way you can just have it in place.
Yeah, exactly. Be perfect.
I am real happy with my hobgoblin. So, yay.
Woo.
Yay.
You can show him off next week.
Yeah, actually, this morning, man, it was one of those typical mornings for you and I with technology.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. My GoPro, so I set up the GoPro for my desk view.
Oh, and by the way, that was a massive improvement on the image.
But it wasn't the GoPro.
You didn't use the GoPro?
I set it up to use the GoPro, and for whatever reason, my GoPro kept wanting to connect to my phone, and I couldn't get it to unconnect.
Right.
And it was just going weird, so I ended up at the last second switching out cameras. That was my camcorder, the Sony camcorder this morning.
It was a beautiful picture.
Well, thank you. So I'm just going to leave that set up.
Yeah. It was I thought because actually it made me go, I need to pull my GoPro out because I normally use that for my bike.
Right.
Because the picture was so awesome. So if that
was the camcorder. So I'm just going to leave it set up.
Yeah, well then I'm going to leave because I thought my camcorder did okay. That just lets me know that it looks really good. It looked really good.
No, the camcorder's perfect. But yeah, it was just one of those last minute. Everything. It was like 10 minutes to 7, and everything was just failing on me because I was like, well, I don't need to set up early. Jeff's not going to be here. I don't need to do anything. and everything went south. It was just.
Jeff bailed on me to go eat. Celebrate a 3-year-old's birthday.
Well, I don't mind. We had fun.
The nice thing about the show now is that it's not as it's just sitting in paper.
Yeah, that's all it is. It was just hanging out. I think we had like 5 to 6 viewers for the most part.
There were 6 on when I came on.
Yeah, and then it dropped down towards the end because I'm not that entertaining.
It always does though. When we get towards the end of the show, we always start losing.
Well, we do. It's a 2-hour hobby every Saturday, 7 o'clock Arizona time, and what time is it for you in Maryland?
We start at 10 my time.
Yeah, in Maryland. So we just hang out and paint. That's all.
I bet I know what happened. The
stuff. I just hijacked it from somebody's podcast, Exterminatus podcast. I just hijacked his Facebook page and showed up because he's a local guy that does a podcast. Him and his buddy Raymond do a podcast on ITC stuff.
Cool. I probably have. Yeah.
So I just went to his feed. Here.
I do that on Twitter. I'm like, everybody's showing off the pictures because they go, I'm like, yeah, here we go. I mean, and I'm not, they're beautiful, and I can't wait to get a hold of some of those buggies to convert.
Yes. Well, I got all my orc buggies. I painted up most of them. I like them. They're cool, but they're terrible in the game. Yes,
they are.
So.
I have one of the old ones.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were actually I can't remember if they were actually making the kit or somebody had one or whatever. Anyway, I bought it, built it. It's okay, but it's so small.
They redid those for a little while as like a special painting project for like kids.
Yeah, exactly. That was what it was. Like those. Yeah.
Yeah. I still have the original one still in the box.
Too. I think that they did.
Didn't they do a vulnerable, like a dreadnought or?
Yeah, that's like an easy build or something or other.
Yeah, that was a cool little deal.
Yeah, they were all green primer. Green plastic. The orc stuff, obviously. Yeah. And that was pretty cool, but so small when you look at everything else.
Yeah, well, it's just like if you look at the truck model, like it's now. When it came out, it was amazing. But now it's like, it's a little small.
Yeah, it is. And actually, the battle wagon is the same way. That's why one of the reasons I started converting the Baneblades is they looked more like a battle wagon to me. Like it
More
should.
fitting.
Yeah. Which is cool. I mean, I have one of the standard battle wagons, and I have one I made myself, and then I've got the Baneblade and conversion, and I'll have this one. And I have no idea if they're going to fit in the army at any point, but they're cool.
I'm so disappointed they got rid of the looted vehicle rules.
God, yes! I love the looted wagons so much.
Yeah.
It makes me sad.
I don't know if you probably haven't never seen it. I actually have a custom-made Humvee for my orcs. So someone had a template that they shared. I don't know where I've got it. It's years and years and years ago. And you just basically print the template out, put it on plastic card, cut it all up, and you can make a Humvee. And then I took all the stuff off of a truck. I just bought a truck and gutted it and took the suspension, the wheels, and the doors and slapped all that crap on it.
Oh, cool!
And then it's just a cool Humvee truck for my orc army.
That's awesome. That's what I use the truck kit now. I have one sitting here because I thought I was going to use the parts for part of the parts for the Baneblade, but I didn't actually end up using them. So it'll go into something else. But I just take them all apart. Yeah. I have 4 trucks the actual truck kit that I mostly got on eBay, so I haven't actually built one from the kit itself. But I've probably bought 4 or 5 or 6 of those kits just for the parts.
Yeah.
It is my favorite kit to part out.
Because you got all the doors and you got all the little glyphs and all the pieces, and you can chop it's a part stream.
I love those tires too. Plus, because the truck has 6.
Yep.
Most of my trucks have 4 now, so I can have those 2 extra tires for other things.
Yeah.
I think that's what I don't like about the Space Marine bikes. That they're the new ones and the older ones. None of them look really that good. It's not just a clearance thing. I just like the better suspension, like the Atlan Jackals. Now those are some cool bikes.
Yes. Yeah, the Space Marine bikes are too blocky.
I would hate to try to drive one.
I'll tell you what would be, right? I tell you what would be funny is I wish I could do like a little video or a GIF where you got the bike before the Space Marine sits on it, and it's only when he sits on it that it goes to the ground.
That'd be awesome.
It's not the suspension, it's just the weight.
It's just a dude wearing power armor sitting on a bike.
Plus they're bigger than little dudes, and so. And the Primaris are more the true scale or whatever you want to call it.
I have a custom built and painted Jen Haley model of a Wolf Lord. It was a gift from a friend of mine. She basically, there's a bike next to it, but it actually isn't one of the Space Marine bikes. It's an actual. It looks like a Harley.
Oh, cool!
It's really kind of cool.
So I think some more realistic bikes like I guess I haven't actually looked at I've got some of the Atlan Jackals I want to make into Grot Riders for my Grot army. Yeah, they're going to be
that would be awesome.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be awesome. I hope they fit. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't opened them yet. I know they're gonna be smaller than I really think they are because you see the pictures and they look bigger.
Yeah.
But and then I don't know. Did you guys see Brush Wizard's conversion of them on Twitter?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. God, these are so good.
He's doing all the lances and stuff with them. Yeah. Scott is crazy.
He is. I love his stuff. His Admech stuff is so awesome. He's also the one that did that. Changed out the Castellan, whatever, robot head to do the clear.
Mm-hmm.
And then those were awesome. So many ideas he's got. And his painting is phenomenal.
Yes, he's awesome.
Winner gotten to White Dwarf twice.
Yeah, he did his, I don't know what the name of the characters. The one was looking at a portrait.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I forget the name of that character. I saw that. I think he had it at Adepticon when I was there.
Ooh.
He entered it into the contest. It was a few years ago.
I wanted to go to Adepticon this year. I was all set to.
So we were going to hook up. We were going to hang out.
I know we were all going to hang out and have fun. And
I was going to play Gaslands.
I was actually going to play Guild Ball.
Oh, that's a surprise. You were playing.
I was going to play Gas. Shockingly, I was entered to play in a Gaslands tournament.
They had to cancel that event because the rest of the country's out of cars.
Yeah, the real reason.
Yeah, because someone in Arizona bought them all. I'm not exaggerating. Tell her how many cars you have.
In the package still, or out of the package?
That first of all, that shouldn't even be a topic.
Oh my God.
You shouldn't have categories on the Hot Wheels cars you own. That's just the first thing right there. All right. So in toto, how many Hot Wheels cars do you currently own?
A few. 1,000.
God. What's hilarious to me is now I'm kicking myself for getting, because the boys are in their young adulthood. I was like, well, I don't think I really want to save these for my grandkids. I've got too much crap. So I gave them to the church, and they matriculated it slowly, find new homes, let's say. And I'm like, I could be using those right now.
You could be chopping those up and making stuff out of them.
Well, especially with some of these 3D printed stuff, people are like putting out little Gasland kits of, here's some stuff you can put on your Gasland car.
Oh, I'll make it easier for you. There's a weapons pack you can buy from North Star Miniatures, military miniatures. That's all scaled for Gaslands with all the weapons pretty much that are in the it was specifically designed for Gaslands.
Oh man.
With all the weapons. The only thing that doesn't have are some of the larger weapons. But yeah, you can just buy that. It actually comes with motorcycles if you want.
Wow.
All scaled for Gaslands, and it makes it converting so much easier.
I give Mike a hard time, but he has made me two kick-ass vehicles for Gaslands. I haven't seen it in person yet, but I plan on it when I come out in October.
Yes, I made you a Space Wolf inspired car, and then I just made you a custom car.
Oldsmobile 442.
Yeah. It's kind of taken over my hobby. I'm thinking about selling off all my GW stuff and just buying Hot Wheels.
A lot of Hot Wheels. That'd be awesome. Oh, this is cool. So my friend Fenris Games does a whole lot of like laser cutting and resin work, and he's got a bunch of stuff for Gaslands as well. Oh man, not just like I knew he had the markers and stuff, but he's also got the Gasland scales, oil drum, resin traffic cones.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. I'm like really tempted now, man, because those are absolutely love terrain and building, that world idea.
And what's cool about Gaslands is when you're chopping up cars, you save all the bits and pieces to make terrain. You just make little scatter trains. So if you chop up a body and you got half of it laying around, you just put it into the side of a mountain, and it's just like a car ran into the mountain.
Tim said you won your game of Gaslands against him.
Yes, yesterday I won my game. My Volkswagen rocket bus.
Right.
Threw him off the table.
I asked him if you used your cheater red dice. He said you did not.
No, I got cheater orange dice for Gaslands.
Yeah, I told him no matter what color they were cheater dice.
So, just for shits and giggles, I'll tell the story about my cheater red dice.
Okay.
You probably you're familiar with the Dark Imperium box set?
Yeah.
And it came with those red dice?
Yeah.
So I told Jeff after that came out, I convinced him to give me the red dice out of it because you never play with the dice that came in a box set. I think that was your words, Jeff.
No, that was yours. Me one day because we were playing when Necromunda came back out. I was using the little dice that came in it. You said, "Oh, Jeff, you never use the dice that come in a set." And continue. I just wanted to clarification.
So then I convinced him to give me his set of dice plus how many other sets did you give me?
Pretty much every set of dice I had that came in the main sets.
Yeah, so we had, I think, like 3 sets of dice you gave me.
Yeah, about that.
And those dice roll amazing for me.
Especially against me.
Yeah. I'm rolling a lot of 6s. So,
oh, man.
So, yeah, now it's...
I have this horrible luck with that sort of thing. Like I bought new dice for my orc army because I wanted to, 2 reasons. Main reason is I kind of wanted them to match my, my army colors. But the main reason was I need the 16 millimeter, the big suckers. I can't see the bloody little ones anymore. So I got the bigger ones. And the first game, man, I rolled great. It was awesome. They were all doing great. Every game thereafter, they all suck. It's like I used up all my luck in one go or something.
Well, then just keep buying dice. Every game, buy new dice.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Buy new dice. Yeah,
There you go. I have a lot of great orc dice. All like the old, just from back in the day when they were doing all the cool theme things.
Aw.
I love my orc dice.
I have the Skaven dice that came out before the end times. Those clear warpstone ones. I got 2 sets I managed to get a hold of. I love those. Yeah. Can't read them or shit, but they're great. They're like awesome.
It's not about reading them.
Yeah, exactly. It's about
It's just
holding
about
them.
having them.
I need to stop watching dystopian stuff.
I'm sorry.
It's depressing.
Okay.
Also distressing.
Nope.
Modern life is a little more dystopian right now than dystopian.
That's why it's depressing.
Okay.
It seems familiar and I don't like it.
This is too real.
Yeah. I literally made a point one time of going, you know what? I never thought that actually, that we'd see the future of what you call it, Neuromancer from Gibson, and then it's like,
Love that book.
it's worse. It's
Yeah.
actually worse. How the hell is that even possible? Don't ask, because 2020 will deliver.
Yeah, keep it. Just take that back in.
God.
Yeah,
Cool.
we are in a different world.
I work from home. I'm home 90% of the time, and I paint for do all the stuff here at the house. And my life has not changed one bit since the whole shelter-in-place order. But it's amazing when you choose to stay at home and do something versus being told you have to stay home and do something.
Then
Yeah.
you never want to stay home.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think we're all familiar with that one because I know a lot of us who were gamers/introverts or whatever were sitting here looking around at each other, kind of going like, something changed.
Yeah. What is this? I'm not supposed to leave? Okay.
It's like, okay, yeah.
It's kind of like when I'm in trouble with my wife and she sends me to my room to hobby.
Oh God, my mom used to do that to me. She'd be like, "You're grounded. You can't go anywhere with any of your friends." And I was just like, "What friends, Mom?"
Okay.
Yeah, that was horrible, Mom. That's a totally
Tragic. Oh, no.
Yeah. Like I'll just go read in my room like I do every day.
Yes.
She never did get that. I honest to God don't understand how that was a thing.
That's just how parents were supposed to parent back then.
I really hate it when you're assembly line painting and you're about 9 models through, and then you get to one model and you realize the previous color you had done, you forgot like 4 sections on the model. You're like,
Oh man, I've been sitting here lining my guys up for a frickin' picture, and then I'm like going, wait, oh
missed them.
shit. All the
never
boots
take
aren't
pictures.
done or whatever. Yeah,
you always find that one spot.
always. Or the mold line you missed. That's a big one.
There's a guy I knew in Arizona that he basically builds Formula One cars is his hobby, and he actually took that to where he now does. He's built Formula One cars for a lot of different people around the world. He actually has a business and he makes money doing it. And he came into the shop I was working at one time, and he gave me one of his business cards. And his company that he did this was called Thumbprint Models. And I went, well, that's a unique name. Where'd you get that? He goes, because every time I finish a model and I'm looking at it, I find a thumbprint in the paint.
Oh, I don't feel so bad now.
Yeah. And I mean, he builds some gorgeous stuff. And, but yeah, that was how he came up with Thumbprint Models, was because of, he'd always find a thumbprint somewhere in the paint. And then it became tradition that he actually, on the roof of the car models he does, he now puts his thumbprint inside the car on the roof. That's how you can tell it's an authentic Thumbprint Models car.
Oh,
Because he's got his fingerprint, so you can't fake it.
You can't fake it.
That's
So
awesome.
I thought that was interesting.
I hope none of them ever get used in a crime.
Well, if anybody does a crime and reaches into a model car and puts their thumbprint on the inside and they actually find it, okay.
Oh, boy. All right, we have everything sorted into piles. Now I got to figure out where I'm going to put them.
Piles.
Yeah, I'm sorting all my styrene stuff so I can freaking find it.
You still won't find it.
I can pretend I can find it now, though.
Okay. As long as you're pretending.
Yeah.
Every time I organize my painting area, man, I got to organize stuff so I can find it. So I organize it, get everything a permanent home, and then within 3 weeks, I'm like, where did I put that?
Oh, yeah.
Where did I store that?
Exactly. You put it somewhere logical, and then you're like, fuck, where was it?
It wasn't too logical.
Yeah, well, or it was too logical. Now your brain can't form logic, and you're just stuck.
Or you get to where you're my age and you just kind of forget.
So after 3 kids, I forget everything.
Yeah.
I walk through a door and I'm like, what the hell did I just walk out of this room for? Walk back in. Oh yeah, walk back out. Fuck, I forgot again.
That's one of my favorite stickers for that I give out for Old Wolf Studios is basically a square sticker and across the top it says Old Wolf and it's a cartoon of a wolf on a hill with a full moon in the background and the caption is what I come up here for?
That's great. Oh, I love that one.
Because did you give me that mic or something? I think it might have been Greg that actually sent me that pic. I don't remember which one.
No, I got the special stickers made for you about your list, your plans, and your dice rolling.
Oh, that was right. Yeah.
Yeah, the 3 little dragons.
Yes, absolutely.
That is right up your alley.
It is. My dice rolling is horrible.
I think everybody's dice are horrible. I mean, it's always, when you're counting on it, forget it.
That's why I love Blood Bowl. You can't. Your dice are always going to hate you.
That's why I like orcs, because honestly, it doesn't matter. It's fun either way.
You never played Fantasy Orcs then, did you?
No, I only played Scale.
Because the Fantasies we had Animosity back in the day.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And that was awesome. It was always great to have half your army not do anything.
Yeah, because it was, yeah.
You rolled a 1. So.
Well, I have some fond memories of fight. Well, see, my main Warhammer partner is my son. Trying to drop stuff again. Anyway, and I played his vampire counts. He played my Skaven. He did not enjoy that as much as I did, although he still remembers fondly running my 300 slaves off the board because they lost morale and I had set them right next to the edge like an idiot.
It happens.
I still remember fondly blowing up his Terrorgeist and half of my own rats because, that's how it goes.
You had a plan. It just didn't quite work out.
It works okay.
No plan survives contact
with the enemy, yeah. This is true. I can't believe I dropped all that. Oh my god. I just dropped all of my pre-cut little rivets from all over my desk.
At least they're on your desk and not your floor.
Yeah, this is true. It's a lot easier to pick them up.
Yeah.
Has anyone? I don't keep up online as much as I should. Do we have a rough date on when the new edition of 40k is coming out?
Late July, but not.
If they're already doing an unboxing, it's going to be soon.
Yeah, I think it's they didn't give a exact date because they don't know because of all the shit going on with COVID and shit.
I like their new template, or the new mass shooting rules for formerly template weapons, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, where the min, depending on the size of the mob coming at you, the min is 3, and then if it's a larger mob, you get the max number of shots.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that yet. I like that the tank shooting thing. I mean, it makes sense. Because I haven't played, like I said, I mainly play my son, so we've been playing Drakari versus Orcs for a long time, since like 7th, and I don't know the Space Marine vehicles in that game. I only know them in 30k, and I'm like, what do you mean you can't run over the tank? Can't run over the infantry that stopped in front of him?
Yeah,
I had no idea that was even a thing, that people were getting stopped by infantry. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, you could just run a grot up to a tank and stop it.
Yeah, that's what they were saying, and I was going, who the fuck made that rule?
Well, when they did 8th edition, they gutted everything and they just wanted to start all over again. So they made it really simple.
Yeah, they did do that. I do like that part because my son liked it a lot more than I thought he would. He already has like the little table thing memorized.
Right.
When we first started playing and stuff, and I'm still sitting here going, okay, wait, no, that's 7th edition. That's 30k. Okay, no, wait, that's Oh, God.
You're trying to organize rules in your head.
Yeah, not going to happen.
I like the days when they had tank shock.
Yeah, I mean, there should have been. Well, okay, the thing with the flyers that they were announcing this last week, where the flyers don't disappear if they go off table, and I'm like, who has actually been playing like that? We pretty much always homebrewed. If it went off one edge, it came back on the other.
Well, you gotta keep in mind there's this big competitive scene, so
Yeah, that was the thing is there. If you're out in a competitive, you got to know the real rules.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, yeah, I could never figure those out. That's why we never played the Flyers very much.
That's why we play in the OG.
Yes, we do a local tournament here called the 40k OG, and it's the old guys tournament.
Oh.
And it's a kind of a throwback to tournaments from back in the day when it was more, would you say, I don't want to say narrative driven. It was just a little bit more exciting.
It was literally more about getting together with a bunch of guys and just having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a winner or a loser and all that stuff in there, but it was really about celebrating the hobby. And that's what we try to do with the OG, is just kind of celebrate. It's not the ITCs have done a lot for the hobby as far as keeping it alive and keeping it moving and growing the number of players in it. So I respect that, but it's not my style of play.
Yeah.
So the OG is basically from my day when you just get together with friends and you have a good time. I mean, we do have a winner or loser. We give awards for painting and that kind of thing, but it's just to have fun and play. We use power level versus points. And we make a few limitations, but not a whole bunch. But I got to have that because the next OG should be in October unless something else happens with the restrictions. So I need to get get 9th edition in my head so we know what we're going to do and how we're going to do it.
Yeah, because it is going to change a little bit, especially with command points. That's a big change right now.
Yeah,
I'm actually looking forward to that because I have never in any of the freaking 40k been able to figure out how to do the battalions, brigades, and shit. It just never clicked.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, since we're homebrewing, most of the time we're like, yeah, we can all have 5 command points and go from there.
There you go. Keep it simple.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. If you get too many rules, you get too many rule arguments because we're family. We do. Then you end up not having any fun, and we get frustrated and just stop playing. So there's no point.
You don't have to be family to have rules arguments.
No, but it does make it worse when you're the mom and he's, and it's there's that dynamic thing going on. I think it's probably the same if you're playing husband and wife too. Like winner gets to do the dishes.
There you go, Mike.
What? No. I already do the dishes.
Oh, that's a good point. Well made.
So, we have that rule in the house. If whoever cooks, the other person does the dishes.
Yeah.
I don't cook a lot. So.
Luckily enough, I have a son that loves cooking and cooks really well. I cook basic stuff, but it's very basic. And it's just to get people fed and out of my hair. He likes it. He actually likes feeding people. So he does all these fancy things. And I'm like, oh my God, I have no idea what you're even doing. So
he's going to be the chef in the family.
Yeah, he did actually want to be a chef for a long time. Then he decided that he'd rather keep it a vocation than an avocation than a vocation because the stress of being a chef in a restaurant's too much, and they don't get paid enough.
No.
So he said that he'd rather just enjoy it the rest of his life instead of stressing about it.
Smart man.
Larry must be making a lot of brats.
He's got a big family to feed.
Absolutely.
Oh God, yeah. Xander's getting huge.
Yes.
His guys are, they're still in that eat everything stage, I think.
Yes, they're growing. Growing. But yeah, as far as 9th edition goes, hopefully these are all good changes. I'm optimistic that it's gonna clean up some of the theater of the mind playing stuff.
What I've read so far, I like what I've read so far. So.
Yeah.
Of course, I've lived through 9. This is now 9 editions that I've actually been involved in 40k in some way, shape, or form. So it's never a smooth transition, no matter how well it is.
No, I was gonna say, do you find that makes it easier or harder?
I actually, to be honest, I find it funny. I worked for GW for 9 years. I was so I've been through every time a new hobby they do a new edition of the rules. There's no matter how well you do it or try to do it. It sparks a thing that I always call this kind of evangelical.
Yeah.
You're changing my hobby.
Why
are you changing my hobby?
Yeah.
And so I just always find it. And also the same thing. Like I said, I started selling 40k or GW stuff in 1987 and 88. And the funny thing is, back then you could buy 2 Land Raiders for $20 and 3 Rhinos in a kit for $20. But it used to. I've had in my head this whole thing And I'm not saying I agree or disagree with GW's pricing structure, but back in 88, 87, 89, I would hear, "Oh my God, GW is ripping me off. They're charging me too much money. I can't believe how expensive they are." And I would just go, "Yeah. How many you want?" and they go, "I'll take 3."
Well, and I gotta say, at that age, back in the day, I was making $3.15 an hour, and I thought it was hot shit.
There's always, but the what that has taught me is that no matter what you do, how you do it, there's going to be that percentage that are not happy with it. And I'm not saying they're right or they're wrong. I'm just saying that that's what I've encountered. So I usually kind of just, as Mike can attest to, I kind of just roll my eyes and giggle.
Yeah.
Because I've heard, no matter what edition, no matter what they've changed, the arguments, complaints, and frustrations are almost always the same to a point. And there some are valid, some aren't. I'm not saying that. I've been through it so many times. I've become kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not immune to it, but I don't rise up.
A little more nerd to it, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, okay, all right, I get it, no worries.
Well, that makes sense. This is only my second edition change. Well, a third if you count Age of Sigmar, which was like a huge shock for me because I'm still pissed about a little bit about that. I just feel like that could have been done better. I think they did a much better job with 40k.
I was just distraught they blew up the old world because I like my Chaos Dwarves and I like Bretonnians.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, and of course, if you talk to James Wapple, he'll talk about his Tomb Kings. And, and for me, I had literally, this is my luck. This is why I never became a power gamer kind of person. Not to mention, I'm not really that competitive, but it's like I never went for min-maxing because every time I try, I swear to God, the very next day, the class, the character, the card, whatever the fuck it is, it gets nerfed.
Yes.
The very next day. Same thing.
Yeah.
Same damn thing happened with Age of Sigmar. They announced the launch, the end times. It wasn't settled back in that. I didn't realize what that meant back then because I hadn't been through any edition changes. And then I had just completed painting 300 fucking clan slaves.
And Skaven wasn't around at first, was it? Or was Skaven part of the original release?
Of Fantasy?
Yeah, when Age of Sigmar came out, some of the races weren't around right away.
No, yeah, I don't think Skaven came out a little later on the.
Yeah, they were a little bit. Yeah, I vaguely remember they were a little bit later. We just kept playing 8th. We were, and which was fine. But then when my son tried to get involved in Age of Sigmar, the newer version, the 2.0, and all this, he's looking at his vampire count army, and he is confused as fuck because death is all over the damn place.
Yeah.
And we actually just decided he just got a bunch of the, not OCR Bone Reapers, the other dudes, the Night Haunts. He had a bunch of Night Haunts for his birthday this year. And
there you go.
Decided to go that way instead of trying to recreate because it's just too confusing.
Yeah, you were kind of in a bunch of different books and doing weird things.
Yeah, he didn't find that, the ones that he liked, he was a little miffed that the ones he liked were gone or in different places. And I'm like, yeah I get you.
Well, anything anybody decides to spend their disposable cash and their free time on has a certain place in their heart, and when someone messes with that, it causes issues, and you get used to something, and it's like, yep, okay, that's not the same anymore. And I'm guilty of that myself because, like I said, I loved my Bretonnians and I love my Chaos Dwarfs. I love my Chaos Dwarfs so much I bought an entire Chaos Dwarf Forge World army. Oh my God! That cost me a pretty penny. But I don't like the rules that you use in Age of Sigmar for them.
Well, they're old rules. It was just like a haphazard, threw something out for them.
It was there. Yeah, here they are. So I'm interested.
I think Skaven are a better place than definitely for sure for the most, but they still are strongly, pretty much still strongly pushed to going either, Pestilence or Scryer.
Yeah.
Which I love. I love both of those, but I'm like, I would love to see some Eshin stuff. I'd love to see more Molder stuff. My new Age of Sigmar army is actually all Molder, because why the hell not? So I have 3 Hell Pits, and 90 giant rats, and 9 rat ogres. Oh, and a Master Mold. So, yeah.
I still remember killing my buddy's rat ogre in Blood Bowl.
Rat ogres.
He didn't talk to me for months.
Oh.
He was pissed. We were in a league, that's why.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, you killed my rat ogre.
Oh man.
I did it fouling too. On top of that,
Was that in one of the leagues before all the?
this was with Anthony Bugatti.
Oh, okay, all right.
It was a long time ago.
He probably still holds a grudge. People do.
Oh, he does. He does, and I remind him of it on a regular basis. 'Cause, that's what friends do.
Because that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Remember that time I killed your rat ogre?
Yeah. Those are the fun rivalries, though. That's where you get fun. That's why I like their idea of the Crusade thing that they're coming up with. I think it's going to be kind of cool in 9th edition, especially.
What exactly the Crusade is? Is that like a slow grow?
It's a kind of a hybrid of. Do you have certain? I'm not sure how it's all going to work yet, obviously, because we haven't seen the books. But the way they described it was, it's a little bit like a slow grow. You can play whatever points you want, or you can take your army and do whatever. You have this objective. That's your objective. Doesn't matter who you're playing against. You can play a match play game versus the other dude who's not playing Crusade, and as long as your objective is, I don't know, slay the warlord or whatever. As long as you do that, then you're growing your crusade. You're literally.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's got some interesting points to it. It reminds me a lot more of the whole Frostgrave style, Necromunda style, where your characters kill team. I think it does this as well, where your characters get more powerful.
Campaign.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically a campaign. But you can play. The problem with this, and normally has been obviously trying to get people to meet up for campaign type stuff, all the usual logistics.
Yeah.
Well, this kind of resolves that, though. All now you have to do is play a game.
Exactly. So you just have, I don't know, maybe your objective is to play versus, orcs are invading. You have to play an orc player, and then it helps you also build like not a backstory, but it helps you build a story for your guys, which is the part I think is pretty exciting.
That sounds interesting.
So it sounds like it'd be fun, and it's gonna have some scenarios and stuff that they're putting out, of course.
I had planned on sitting down tomorrow and trying to go through all this stuff and kind of get my head around where they're going and what they're doing, and I just haven't had a chance to since all the announcements came out.
Mm.
Yeah, well, they flood you. That's why I like trying to stay on top of GW news can be challenging, because you just get flooded with so much information on such a regular basis.
Oh, and everybody's picking it apart constantly.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, until I can see the book, in my hands, then I'll be like, okay, I understand now. I got to be able to see it.
But before I worked for Workshop, while I was working at Workshop and afterwards, I used to get so frustrated because I'd be like, why don't you listen to the players? Why don't you listen to the players? Well, then they started doing that. They started putting out so much information, I can't keep up now.
Why are you listening to the players?
Yeah.
Stop listening to us. Just do what you want.
Damn it.
Oh.
I'd be playing the game, and someone go, yeah, but they just posted this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, damn it.
Oh,
Yeah.
keeping up with the FAQs, this is one of the problems I have with them going so soon to a new edition. And it's, okay, my thoughts have always been, please make it like Magic the Gathering, where you have core rules. They don't really change. Okay, this
Right.
is the way the game is played. What you change is special abilities, keywords, things that you add in over time so that you can balance it better as you go on. And then, I don't know how that would work for a war game, but I think it could be done. I think it would be interesting and a cool mechanic.
That's kind of what they're doing now.
That's what it seems like. Yeah, that's kind of what it seems like. Because they said you can use any rules with these. So
Right. They're not like when they did 8th edition, they wiped out everything, including codexes. And I think they did a good job with that because everybody was starting from 0 and moving up from there.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to be changing keywords again. There's going to be some new keywords added. Trains, I think, going to have now keywords.
Yeah.
Which is
I've
going to
seen
be
a
cool
lot of tips on that.
because a lot of train was just, it had no purpose. It was like, why is train here? We
To
don't
make
need
it look pretty. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I love train rules, so I'm all for that. I just hope that it actually, people take it, actually use it and don't go, oh, we're just going to use this because this is the best stuff. Or whatever.
this is the best piece of train.
Yeah, like
We'll see. We'll see. I'm optimistic. I think they're moving in a good direction. We'll see.
That's one of the things I liked about Malifaux, was the way that terrain interacted with the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the same. Infinity's a lot the same way. I liked playing Infinity, but
The new version, by the way, of
Malifaux?
Either one, actually.
I don't. We don't. No one
I
really
haven't
plays
played the new edition
Malifaux.
of Malifaux at all, and I haven't played Infinity in forever. I own enough models to play Infinity anytime I want.
I got Code One, the basic starter set that's supposed to provide a good basis to learning the next edition of it, I guess I should say. I just love the models so much that it was when they finally came out with something that seemed a little more newbie friendly out, because I've heard a lot about it. I'm like, I really want this. And then Malifaux 3.0, I mean, I played, I didn't play the first version, I played the second edition, and then our group kind of fell apart, sadly, and so I'm still sitting here with a gremlin army. There's a theme here, you'll see. I play Grot's Gremlins Force, and Steven...
You do know what my screen name is for Twitter, right?
No.
The Greenskins.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, I know you. Yeah, yeah.
So,
I mean, I knew I did know you, but yeah.
No, it's
matching with people is another thing. That's hilarious.
If it's green, I play it.
So what's been the discussion since I've been gone?
We're just chatting about orcs and goblins and green stuff.
The old world. And, yeah.
Yes, you missed a lot, Larry.
Lots of discussions about green stuff. Right.
We talked about how old we were, and and that kind of thing. We dated ourselves based on our knowledge of what edition of 40k we played.
Second edition.
Okay, I'm still winning. I start on first, so.
Rogue Trader.
No, that doesn't count. That doesn't count because I didn't actually have access to any of that when I was that age. When it was out, I was around. It just
I was too young. It's not an argument.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that I was too young. I literally didn't have access. Like there was nowhere. Remember pre-internet, nobody knew anything unless you knew somebody who knew something. So I was still sitting here painting lead miniatures.
The only reason I knew about it was I actually worked in a hobby store because I worked in a hobby shop part time to pay for my hobby, and that's how I got into the industry. I used to be my original career choice was law enforcement, and then I left there and went into copyright investigation.
Oh wow!
And to cover my miniature painting addiction, I started working part time in the local hobby shop down the road from my house. And next thing I know, I'm doing it for a living for the last 30 years. So.
Cool. I would love to do terrain. I'm back into. I started with model railroads and basically scale models, and picked up my first lead figures. I managed to get by my mom because hey, it's art. She actually encouraged me. She wanted me to paint, I guess. Never mind, they were the dreaded D&D stuff. This was like, my God, Ralph Partha TSR stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and and that got me into doing that for a while, and then of course we did various life changes and crap, and moved to the other side of the U.S. Had kids, and suddenly one of them brings home Magic the Gathering cards, and before I know it, everybody's back into all the hobbies.
There used to be a great shop in Alpharetta, Georgia, called MageWorks that I used to go to quite a bit back in the day. So.
I'm so sad. There's so many here that don't exist anymore.
There was a ton in Atlanta back when I worked at GW. We had a ton, and I used to go down to Atlanta once a year just because there were so many shops in that area.
Yeah,
we used to play Magic the Gathering real heavy in Atlanta on the north side in Alpharetta.
Yeah. There's a Gigabyte there now, which is like the best.
Gigabyte.
Oh, I love Gigabyte so much.
One of these days, I want to go out there.
Oh, you gotta go, man! It's so cool. Even right now, they've reset it so that everybody can walk around. There's one-way aisles, and it's.
I watch all their streams just because I'm just like, oh, they get all the cool stuff.
Yeah.
Somebody has a job where he sits in his truck all day.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Hey! I feel called out.
I think you and I were both called out, Larry.
Something like that.
If Larry's included in that, then that's a bonus for me because I didn't know.
I'm a semi-driver, dude. What the hell do you think I do?
I don't ever leave my studio. I paint all day long. I live in a cave.
You live in a cave. Mike lives in a truck. I live in a truck, almost literally.
You live in a truck more than I do.
That's true. Because I actually sleep.
I go to home after 10 hours.
Yeah, I sleep in my truck, except for on the weekends. The wife has custody of me on the weekends.
Many of my uncles, and for the last few years of my dad's life, he was a truck driver. And I used to actually go to the I used to ride with him when he would do the East Coast to Seattle run. He'd take commodities out and apples back. So.
Oh, that'd be a brilliant fucking run. Just to be able to.
Yeah.
So is Gigabytes? How big is the store? Because he carries every line of miniatures you could possibly imagine.
Pretty much. Spellcrow, Cromlech. They've got all of the a bunch of Reaper stuff, Whiz Kids.
He just brought in a big historical order.
Yep. Huge bunch of historicals. There's all good bunch of stuff I've never pretty much all the Osprey books that I've never seen have been from there, which are a lot of good historical references and stuff in game rules. He's got Bolt Action. He's got what's that other one that's
Flames of War.
Yeah, Flames of War. Hail Caesar. Stuff that I didn't even know existed too, and I can't remember the names of. Awesome. Plus, and this is where he's killing me. He started carrying Lego.
Yes, I noticed he did that. Oh,
I was like, God damn it! Oh.
No, it's funny because David Dowse, the guy who founded Cool Mini or Not, actually owned a gaming store, the one we were talking about in Alpharetta, Georgia. He had a game shop.
New Wave mail order.
Well, no. Actually, before that, he had another shop. He ended up...
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
This was mid-90s. He actually owned another shop before it became New Wave. He actually partnered with New Wave, and I think they eventually bought it. But at the time, New Wave was out of New Jersey, if I'm remembering correctly, and they talked to him about becoming a franchise store. And then I think he eventually took New Wave over. But he had... He was the reason I know David Dowse is I met him way before he got into miniatures. He was a level 4 judge for Magic the Gathering back in '96. And we used to go down to his shop all the time because back in the day you had to test under a level 3, and actually the closest person who was a level 3 or above was David. So we would go down there and we'd run Magic tournaments for him, and we did our judge testing and everything else with him. Wow. So it was really weird to find out that I knew David Dowse before, it was funny to find out I knew the owner of Cool Mini or Not before he even became, or hell, even before I became into the hobby of miniatures.
I earlier in our conversation, I was talking about a Julie Guthrie, not Julie Guthrie, can't think of her name, Jen Haley custom paint job of a Wolf Lord on a motorcycle. Mm-hmm. David Dowse is the one that gifted that to me. I've also got a custom painted Space Wolf motorcycle helmet that Dave gave me because I know Dave from way back. I was his rep at Games Workshop for New Wave mail order and all that. And when I was supposed to go to work for him at Cool Mini or Not when I was leaving Battlefront Miniatures, but due to some severe health issues, I unfortunately was not able to take the job.
Well, probably a good thing because there's some interesting history with New Wave mail order. Mm-hmm. Like for the longest time, everything was good, and then at the very end, it just seemed to go downhill. A lot of unfulfilled orders. I don't know if they ever got that rectified, but I know for a long time there was
a lot of issues. Dave had a lot of issues there, and a lot of them came from his personal life at the time. He's in Singapore now.
Jeez.
I chatted with him about 6 months ago through social media, so I haven't seen him in forever.
Yeah, he was a good guy whenever, I'm sure he still is, but he was a really good guy to deal with the entire Magic thing. Like if you ever see the 1994 Magic the Gathering World Champion VHS tape, and you see the little Asian guy that's standing there at the thing, that's David Dowse. He was known as Mr. Pro Tour because he had judged more Pro Tours than, he was senior judge at more Pro Tours than anybody else. Yeah. This is back in the day when there was only 5 level 4 judges in the entire world.
Oh wow!
And there was only 2 level 5s. And now there's actually the highest rank you can get is level 3. They kind of do it like a driver's license nowadays. You have level 3, which can do a whole bunch of stuff, but they can't head judge a pro tour unless they've went and passed a second set of credentials. So they have a modifier on their judge chest to say that they can run Pro Tours. It's weird how the new judge system works out.
Well, they're being a little bit. Are they being more cautious of who becomes a judge just because of?
Well, it's been turned.
Issues?
It's been turned over to a new entity, Judge University, I think is what it's called.
So it's not part of Wizards.
No. They've Wizards after that huge stink happened. After that huge stink happened, Wizards kind of turned over the entire judge program to a completely separate entity, and they run all of the judges now. They've revamped the entire judge system, and I think they've made it a little bit more lucrative to be a judge through additional promos, better promos, and it was crazy. It was a collapse of everything because, like, the way those bad judges became judges was, in a nutshell, whenever the level 3 in the area was supposed to vet them, they were supposed to do stuff like do background checks and everything else. Well, they weren't. And so, or not, some of them weren't. And so some bad apples snuck through. And it was running hot and loose for a long time. And it's happy. I'm happy to see it actually become more of an entity. Plus, there was a whole bunch of stuff getting into, are they employees? Are they not employees? So,
oh god, yeah, that whole thing.
Big old lawsuit.
Yeah, that was interesting.
It was, I don't know. I can see some of the stuff they were saying, but at the same time, some of it was like, what? And I think it's Judge Academy now. I'm trying to look it up now. Magic.
Are you going to become a judge?
Huh? Yeah, it's Judge Academy. I've been a back in the day when the judge test had some really weird questions. And then I was an event coordinator, which was effectively a level 0 judge. And, I was considered a TO, a tournament organizer, which meant that I got all the paperwork together and turned in stuff for, all that stuff. You know, I did basically I was a over glorified paper pusher.
There you go. Okay.
And, I mean, I can usually run small tournaments, and I am one of the people that a lot of our local group will turn to for asking judge questions. But
God, I know I always do because I can't always understand the interactions.
Like, everything's fine until you get into the timing of it. Some of the timing questions they ask are so obscure, and it's just like, what? What? I don't know what you mean.
Yeah. Like, is it on the stack or not?
Well, see, I've played during literally 3 different eras.
The old-fashioned interrupts.
Yeah, well, no, I played during interrupts and mana sources and all that stuff. I've played during when damage went on the stack, when the stack was done differently, and you'd have like damage on the stack and all that fun stuff. And now it was a new thing. I felt so bad because I came back and I was still under the assumption of that damage would go on the stack. And I talked to someone and I was like, no, that's not how it goes. And turns out I was so wrong because I had it completely ass backwards of how things were supposed to go. But now,
I can imagine.
Now it's having to reteach myself everything. That's what it feels like sometimes.
We went to a pre-release a while ago. Maybe 3 sets back now. I can't remember which one it was. But they were doing
Throne of Eldraine?
Maybe it might have been the one right before Throne of Eldraine, the end of the Pathfinder.
War? Was it like
remember.
Ravnica mixed with Amonkhet?
I honestly can't remember. I just remember that the thing was they were doing the mulling differently, and then they were doing some other thing that we normally do. I can't remember if it was card draw in general, but it was just something that was just slightly out of tune with the way we had been doing it. And I was like, why did they suddenly change this? But apparently that was in the rules now.
Yeah, they changed the
Do you remember
mulligan.
what that was, William?
What was?
When they changed the mulling. Damn it, I keep trying to call it
Mulligan.
Mulligan, yes, that thing.
I don't know. There have been a lot of fluctuations in it because there's several different versions we've been doing because of like Commander.
No. I mean, when we went to the actual pre-release and they were telling us, like, no, you're not doing it right.
There's like kind of like with the turn order. There's a very specific order of the way you do a mole, but we tend to be very fluid with it, like because it doesn't really matter.
Okay, if you don't remember specifically, then
I remember that being kind of the issue. There's an order. We didn't do it in the right order. They got told off for it.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a right order. I don't really believe in there should be a right.
Well, and that
order,
was the thing is that there hadn't been up until that point. I'd never heard of that, and we've been playing for 10 years at that point.
Yeah, it's what exactly is it? I think whoever's on the play. Yeah, it's like whoever's on the play does the mulligan first, and then I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was just slightly different enough that people were getting upset, and I was like, really?
Well, they did change the mulligan rule, like the entire way you mulligan. Like you draw 7, and then if you mulligan, you shuffle and then draw 7 again. And then once you're done doing your mulligans, however many times you've done a mulligan, you discard that many cards. Like if you mulligan twice, you still have 7, but then you have to put 2 cards on the bottom of your library.
Damn, they really have changed it. I mean, I like that aspect. I don't like.
Yeah, that's the London.
Then draw.
That's the London mulligan, I believe. There's the Paris mulligan, which is the one we've been doing for a while. Well, no, actually. The original mulligan rule was if you have no lands or all lands, you can mulligan. That was it.
Yeah.
Then you had the Paris mulligan, which is what you were used to, where you would shuffle, and then the first mulligan you would draw 6 and then draw 5. And then they added the scry to it.
Yes, that's what it was.
And then after
I was like, what the hell are you doing looking at your cards if you're mulliganing?
Right, and then they had the scry, and then the newest version is the London mulligan, and that's where you keep drawing 7, and then at the very end, you discard however many cards equal to the times you've mulliganed.
Wow. Okay. That's a little, I kind of like that.
It actually helped out with balance for some decks. It's weird. Like, a lot of it is to fix some of the balance issues that there was. So now it's a little more fair for all decks.
Yeah, that makes sense. I kind of don't like the idea of shuffling them back in initially, though. Like,
it used to be just put them on the bottom of the library.
Right. So you put them on the bottom, so you can't possibly get them again. But I get if you're shuffling though, I have learned that whenever you get a chance to shuffle. It's great. It helps a lot.
Hey, at least we're not doing Commander mulligan rules, because that would be broken as all hell.
Okay,
but Commander was supposed to be... Wasn't Commander a completely separate game?
It is. It's actually... the rules are not done by Wizards. Wizards prints products for Commander, but ultimately the control of Commander is done by the Rules Committee. Whether or not I completely agree with the Rules Committee, that's a different thing altogether.
That. Huh.
Yeah, there's a rules committee and there's the advisory board. Wizards has one person on the advisory board, but ultimately it's an entity that that does not work for Wizards, has nothing really to do with Wizards, and they're the ones who ultimately control all of what was formerly EDH and now is Commander.
Oh wow. Okay, so tell me the Commander rule again that they do, because I bet it's different than what we do at home.
What do you mean?
Well, when we mulligan with Commander, we do a friendly mulligan. So the first time you get to pick, you just put the cards on the bottom and pick 7 more, and it doesn't matter. You don't draw down or anything. And then when you do mulligan, if you're going to do it, you pick out what you want to keep, and you put those rest on the bottom, and then so if you go down to 6, you throw away 2, then you get 2 more. That kind of thing.
It's now supposed to be in any type of event. It's supposed to be done by standard rules, which would be London mulligan. But if a lot of players still do it, where just kind of like what you said, what they'll do is, like, say I have 7 cards. I can look at it and be like, well, this is a bad hand. I'm going to discard these 4, put them on the back, on the bottom of the deck, and then draw 4, and then look at my cards. Now, if I do it again and I discard, let's say I don't like it and I discard 3, the second time I do it, I'd only draw 2 cards. So I'd have a hand of 6.
Okay. Yeah, that's That's how we do it. So
that's actually the official mulligan for Commander before everything came up with the integration to the rule set, because Commander's actually sanctionable now. You can actually have sanctioned tournaments of Commander.
God. I didn't even realize that.
I played 1 game, and they didn't play it by. It was funny as hell because they didn't play it by competitive tournament EDH rules, because there's certain commanders that are banned, like Edgar Markov. Edgar Markov is banned in 1v1 competitive because he's just he's busted.
Okay,
but
that makes sense. Yeah.
I was playing a deck, and it was Ural the Mistwalker, and he has hexproof. He's a 5/5. He has hexproof, and he gets +2/+2 for every enchantment that's on him.
Oh god!
And it's basically a deck full of enchantments, and I run a tweaked out deck, so it's like a $4,000 deck, and it has all the good stuff in it. And he's a commander, so only need 21 damage to kill you.
Right.
So I was like turn 3, and I was just like, hey, look, game over.
Wow.
Yeah, they were actually playing 2 out of 3s with that too, and I never lost a single game. Like I 2-0'd the entire thing. I told him I would never bring that commander to that type of event again. It wasn't fun for me either. I mean,
yeah,
you would think steamrolling people would be fun, and it is, like the first 2 or 3 times you do it. But after a while, it's just like, yep, totally over just raffle stomping. I'd like a little bit of stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say the 1 versus 1 commander is very different. I mean, I love 1 versus 1. That's what I end up playing with my son the most, because we don't really ever seem to browbeat everybody into playing with us. But you do need a different deck. Like, I want to play a group deck because we have the group hug deck. I like that deck, and it's fun, But they don't want to play.
I play all forms of Commander, so if you go to CFB events, Channel Fireball events, they actually have these special bundles right now. They have what's called the, and you're probably gonna be like, damn it, why'd you tell me about it? Let's see, Channel events. They have these bundles you can buy, and they start at $50 and they go up to $150, and they have some. So it's called Magic Fest in a box, and they have another one too. For $49, you pre-order them for the 24th of June. For $24, you get... Come on. No, hold up. No, that's not what I want. What the hell? Oh, damn. Can you possibly get a little bit smaller on your description? All right, here you go. You get a random Magic Event playmat, and they got some nice ones too. You get a Magic Fest foil Path of Exile promo. That's the full art one. That's in foil. You get you get 1 non-foil. You get the promo Soul Ring. You get a set of Magic Fest foil basic lands, and you get a random Dex box and a random pack of sleeves, and that's for $50.
Damn.
Yeah. You also have the 2-player edition, which effectively it's $89 instead of $49. So, and it's literally just double what you get it. So it's like $10 off.
Oh, that's cool.
But you get 2 boxes, 2 packs of sleeves, 2 foil Swords to Plowshares, 2 non-foils, 2 soul rings, and 2 packs of lands.
Oh, damn, these are some nice...
And, as an added bonus, you do get a previous Grand Prix promo, which means you could get a Grand Prix Lightning Bolt, you can get a Grand Prix Mutavault. A lot of Mutavaults are going out, but I have seen Grand Prix Lightning Bolts, which also means there's a potential... Probably unlikely, but there's a potential for a Liliana of the Veil, because it was a Grand Prix promo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then you get one magic...
God.
Then you get 1 artist item, which is generally what I've seen is it's a pack of sleeves, or a pack of tokens from an artist. And then they have the Commander Edition, which is $150. You get 1 previous Grand Prix promo, 4 random playmats, 4 foil Path to Exiles, 4 non-foil Path to Exiles, 4 non-foil Soul Rings, 4 deck boxes, 4 packs of sleeves, a foil promo Soul Ring, 1 package of the Magic Fest lands, and 1 magic item. That foil Soul Ring by itself is $80. And those the foil Path to Exiles are about 20 something a piece, and the non-foils are like 16. So it's actually a really, really good deal. But those are the 4. And then they have another box, which I may have ordered.
We won't know for a couple weeks.
No. More like it should be coming in a couple weeks. Okay, so this is called Command Fest Online in a box. You get to pick your playmat instead of it being random. And they have the 2011 Kiki Jiki Mirror Breaker playmat.
Yeah, so I was just looking at that.
They have the 2017 Ancestral Recall playmat. They have the 2018 Urza Tower playmat. Silvergill Adept from 2018. Liliana the Key. Vendilion Click. Urza's Tower. And the Mutavault. I actually went to the Grand Prix where the Mutavault playmat was at, and it's gorgeous. I may or may not have ordered the Kiki Jiki. So what you get with this one is it's $100. You get the foil Soul Ring promo. You get 2 non-foil Soul Ring promos. You get 4 non-foil Path to Exile promos. You get 1 of 20 different playmats. Oh, there's more available than whenever I ordered.
Mm-hmm.
Son of a... you get 1 Grand Prix promo.
I love that one.
You get a package of sleeves, and the sleeves are not... they're not random. They're actually the Soul Ring sleeves. And
cool.
And the Soul Ring deck box. And they are those sleeves and the deck box is actually super limited edition. You get the basic lands, an artist item, and you get the Grand Prix promo. And that's $100. Added together, it's about $200. Like I said, the Soul Ring foil by itself is like $60. So this one is like an amazing deal. And some of these playmats, if you'd actually go on eBay and look them up, some of these playmats are worth like $50, $60 by themselves. If you take the time to actually look them up and see what they are.
I'm so glad I don't play Magic anymore.
Like I'm sure
that that's part of the problem with
My level of Magic experience is I sold a lot of cards to a lot of people.
like I'm sure that Kiki Jiki is actually worth a pretty penny. So
oh man, there's somebody here that are cool too.
All right, I'm just gonna say I will say this: if you order one and you order the Vendilion Click and you don't want the playmat, I will buy the playmat off of you. Because I have a fairy deck, so the Vendilion Click would actually be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So if you're considering getting one and you don't want the playmat, then contact me and I'll work out a deal with you about the playmat.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I gotta wait till I actually get paid, so per usual.
What? Actual money?
Yeah, money. What's that?
Right. All right. So back to miniatures. We talked about.
You had another Baneblade I can loot off you?
No, you got my only Baneblade I had laying around.
Yeah. I'm liking this new one. I have a new kit that I bought.
Did you see that one thing that I sent you? The ATV. I don't know whether I like it or not.
I think I like it. I think it grows on me.
I'm like really, for those who haven't seen, all right, so I think this may be the new attack bike, which if it is, it's an improvement. Because the attack bike made no sense at all. But it's 4 wheels. It has the twin bolters on the front. It has the Gatling gun on the back on a but it's 4 wheels and looks like kind of like a weird buggy. And
it's going to be an orc buggy.
Right. Yeah. And for orcs, I'm just like, hey, I shared it and I was like, hey, Guildy, look, kit bashing. But overall, I think they could have done a little bit better on it because it really looks heavy and clunky. I get that it's Space Marine, but damn.
Well, we were all complaining about that, the clearance and they're still cool, don't get me wrong, but they're going to be jacked when I get a hold of them.
Okay, but if you go to so if you go to Forge World, and I think they've actually sadly, I think they discontinued this kit. But if you used to be able to go to Forge World, and they had a buggy. They had a 4-wheel buggy and a 6-wheel buggy. And it was Elysian, I believe it was, Elysian Paratroopers.
Yeah, those all went out of production, I mean.
And they looked amazing. I thought they were awesome. But then, like you said, they went out of production, which makes me very sad.
Yeah, we've seen because the preview was today.
Yep.
For what's in the box. I mean, obviously people had spoiled a lot of it, damn them. But
actually, you can fill me in because I have absolutely no idea what was released today. What I know they were going to release the contents of the box, but what did they?
Yeah, the Indomitus box is Necrons versus Primaris Space Marines. So that
Joe plays Necrons. Trust me, I've been hearing about them. The Necrons. I was like, ay.
Yeah.
What's cool about the Necrons, though, is we're finally getting new warriors.
Yes.
And they're finally getting a lot of actually really cool stuff.
Yeah, the Necrons look really cool. I'm not a Necron player, so I'm not that fussed about it. But
man,
the models look better. They look good.
IG has been neutered.
Awesome. They're just... they look awesome. They look otherworldly, like they should. They don't just look like a bunch of robots. And the Canoptic Reanimator and the big dude, I can't remember his name. He's not in the box, so that's not on there. But he looks very War of the Worlds. You know, they've got extra limbs, and it works. Plus, they're going for this vibe where the Necrons are not coming back from regeneration or reanimation as fresh.
The Warriors are not. I know the Warriors are not.
That's what I mean, the Warriors, yeah. So we're wondering, me and my son have been discussing what, that might mean for reanimation protocols in the future, especially with a model that's actually going to be reanimating them.
Oh, God, I ended up on Bella Lost Souls on accident. Ew.
Oh, no.
Ew!
Back away. I thought I was clicking on a different... I'm actually trying to find the what's in the box reveal, but it seems like it's all video.
Go to the Warhammer community page.
Warhammer community, dude.
Yep.
It's got all your GW news.
This is from freaking 2018.
And don't forget Warhammer 40,000 now, too. Where the hell are... Oh, I'm not on Facebook at the moment.
And that box looks good.
Sure. I don't know.
The box looks good. That's great.
Yeah, it's a launch for 9th. It's not, a starter set, really.
All right, let's see.
Somebody else called something else. I can't remember the name.
All right, so you get 3 of the new bikes. Those are okay, I guess. You get a full tac squad, if they're still called tac squads. It looks like you got a command squad, a chaplain, a librarian, an incisor, or whatever the hell squad those are.
You get a Primaris captain, a Primaris lieutenant,
Intercessor,
Primaris chaplain, a Judaikar, which apparently people have been saying it different ways, which is a little bit of a take on a...
Judicar.
Yeah.
It's a chaplain.
A little bit... It's a chaplain, but it's a little interesting because apparently he's going to be, I love this. He has an all-new item of esoteric war gear, can't read my screen, the Tempor Mortis. You don't need to be an expert in High Gothic to know that this means it's something he can use to manipulate time and ensure the death of his quarry. Yeah. I love the Blade Guard veterans with the shields, though. Those look really awesome.
All right, so you get 2 squads of warriors. No, you get 2 squads of warriors. You get a squad of... I have no idea what the hell those are.
Oh, on the Necrons?
Yeah, you get 5 bases of scarabs. You get one of the new War of the World robots.
The Cryptothralls are the dudes that look like they have like a jet engine for the face.
Well, the picture's I'm having to zoom in, so the picture's kind of going nuts. That Lord looks badass. And then, who are the dudes with like blades as hands? Because those look awesome too.
Scorpec destroyers. If you scroll down, Larry, they're enumerated out, so you can see what they are. Nice big.
Oh wow, yeah. I guess I'm like zooming in. I'm like, I can't see. Oh, that captain looks awesome. I do see what people were talking about, rather having the arm mounted or the shield mounted on the arm, but it's still pretty awesome. I love how it has the face mask folded up. I think that's actually really nice. Lieutenant, he's nice, and that'll go well with my limited edition one that I bought at Adepticon. Chaplain basically looks like a basic chaplain. Okay, so this is what you were talking about, the Judicar?
Yeah.
Okay, he's weird.
Funnily enough, my middle son looked at this picture and went, he looks like one of the level 100s in Mordhau. That pretty much just carry around an executioner's sword and kill everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird that they have both a chaplain and this dude in the same army. Because I thought they would fill the same role, but maybe not.
No, he's more of a... It looks like he's almost... what is that? The same thing, the champion.
Okay, so he plays
something.
All right, okay, that makes sense. Then you have the veterans, Blade Guard veterans. Then you have the Blade Guard Ancient. He's the battle standard.
Okay, now, dude, seriously, do you not see a Necron on his battle standard? I did. It looks like he's got a freaking Necron on him on the standard.
No, I kind of see an old Space Marine in a way. Because of the plate on the eye. To me, it actually looks like an actual skeleton from a Space Marine.
Oh, God.
It'll be interesting to see what this release is, because it should be the new 2-player starter set.
It is.
Hopefully, I wonder if we're going to get the hardback rule book like we did with Dark Imperium.
Yeah, they have I believe it's hardback. It may not be in this article.
They just showed off models.
Yeah, down further, core rulebook, that's hardback. There's a special alternative cover.
Oh, really?
Core rulebook.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
Which now I want the damn box just for the damn book, but I can't.
Oh, that Royal Warden is really neat. Plasmancer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, not sure if I like them or not. Looks like I could grab his face and beat the hell out of another Necron with it. Okay, the Cryptothals are kind of cool.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't look like...
All of it's...
Long-talon murder bucket things. I mean...
Oh my god, that Scortep... That Scropeth Lord. Holy shit. Hello, General Grievous.
Mm-hmm. I actually think I had this discussion with somebody or other recently that I think I would probably... redo his arm slightly. It could be just the actual picture angle, but it's not balanced in a way I like, even though it's not really balanced, having threes. I think that remounting that arm in a different location, like maybe putting the gun over his back or something, or just putting the sword on one side, gun on the other, and then the claw on the extra arm, maybe. I don't know. It just seems like it needs a little something.
It does seem a little oddly balanced. And here's one thing. Okay, like the destroyers, I love them except for the one where it has the blade together. Mm-hmm. I don't dig that. Now, if it was together in a way where it looked like it was formed from two of them, like he could
turn it around.
Like he can make it a one-bladed item and then split it into a two-blade. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm really digging these three-legged things. I don't know why.
They look like they came out of Blackstone Fortress.
Yeah,
right?
That's a good point.
Did they have like those three-legged?
Yeah, the little I don't know what those are. The little murder drones.
Yeah, they look like those. That's what they remind me of.
I like it because they look suitably alien instead of humans that are made out of metal.
It really has a War of the World feel to it. The new Necrons.
Mm-hmm. They got away from the Terminator feel.
Right. The Reanimator. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
A land-walking jellyfish. Oh, yeah. Actually, does kind of look like that. Their description. I like the new Scarab Swarms. They look pretty. Yes. They're really nicely detailed. And the new warriors, like the new sculpts on the warriors, are actually pretty nice too.
Yeah.
They're interesting. To me, they're not that far different, but I can see where there are differences. I mean, not just like the guns and stuff, but I was never enamored of the warriors anyway, so...
Hopefully it doesn't look like they're all squatting to take a poop.
No.
Let's just hope for the little things in life.
Yep. The limited edition, or the Indomitus edition, it's not limited edition. Indomitus edition 40k rulebook. Now, one thing I have heard is that if you purchase your books, you get a code where you can download it online too.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yes, they are finally joining this 20th century or whatever. And when you buy a rule book, you get a PDF code for or you get a code for the online version. I don't know if it's actually a PDF.
Well, one of the things that they were talking about with this new edition is they've finally got an army builder. So I wonder if you're getting if you buy the book, if you're unlocking, kind of like what they do with Age of Sigmar.
Yes and no. You actually download the entire codex, and anytime that they put something new out on a codex, it automatically updates your rule book, your digital rule book. Now they've had this forever, but it was Apple exclusive because something about the Apple Reader having a lot more flexibility. They had it where if you hovered over a word, like a keyword, it would hop open a different window and tell you, "Hey, this is what this does, and this is the effect." Or if you hovered over a weapon, it would give you the weapon profile.
Yes, they did that originally with the copy I got of the 8th edition online EPUB or whatever it was that I managed to get working on my Nook, which was ancient, and never again would do that. And that was really awesome. But that's the reason I've not gotten future ones, is because they were all Apple exclusive pretty much.
Right. And it was something to do with the actual software that they use for books. It was powerful enough to do it on Apple. It was robust enough, but I guess it was never robust enough to do it on Android. And I guess something came out, and now all of a sudden you can do it on Android.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, it'd be interesting to see how this army builder thing works out. Because that's been always one of the sticking points with the game. Uh-oh.
You already home, bud? Oh, I guess it's 9.
What was that?
You are roasted.
What happened?
The catfish
45.
45.
Oh, I was about to say, holy shit, that's
God, I was going to say, what?
It was pretty big.
Yeah.
Hold up, can you hear him?
Yeah.
Oh crap, I'm muted. So you guys were replying to. So anyone who heard them giggling and laughing, my son came in and I muted it, and I thought I muted it for everyone, but nope. Apparently, everybody else in the call could still hear. It just wasn't recording anymore. Oopsie. Mike, Jeff, and Guildy are all in the call today. You want to say hi to the podcast? There, you're unmuted.
He wasn't muted before.
Yeah,
Hello.
he wasn't muted.
No, I was talking. I unmuted the second microphone. I have 2 microphones hooked up to my system, so it's neat because right now I'm sitting at the computer, so I have a microphone at the computer itself, and then I have another microphone at the painting table, so I can mute and unmute it. Also means I can have guests come into the house and they can actually talk and all that stuff.
Cool.
Now that you have your cool little detached hobby room.
Yeah, isn't it though?
Yeah. It's awesome. Super jealous. I would fill it with Hot Wheels, but, either way.
I don't know if there'd be enough room for your Hot Wheels.
Dude, I thought I heard you say hot oils, and I was like, what the fuck?
I'm in the hot oils, but that's a different podcast. So what do you guys think the price point's going to be on this? Because you're talking new armies.
I'm thinking 150.
You're thinking 150?
Yeah.
150? No.
Yeah.
I'm going 2.
350.
No.
It can't be more expensive than Titanicus.
I bet it can.
No.
You think 350?
No, there's no chance in hell. There's not even $350 in the box.
You don't know the price of the new models, Larry.
Good point.
Yeah, but I can tell you right now that the Primara squad over here is probably going to be $65. The bikes are probably going to be $50. The squad of 5 is going to be probably $50 to $55. I'm not. It's not $300. I'm saying. I think they're going to keep it at about $150 because you go much higher than that, it all of a sudden becomes not a splurge buy. Because this product is designed to put the hooks into the new person coming into the game. Gives them because if you look at what's in there, it gives them just enough to start playing, but it doesn't give them enough to be competitive in it. And these type of boxes have always been massively underpriced compared to their contents.
I disagree that it is a starter box.
It is a starter box.
No, it's not the same thing as like a start.
It's not like
I don't know how to describe it.
These have always been
It's not like Dark Imperium.
Yes, it is. This is absolutely like this is the
No.
core. This is the core box set.
Prophecy of the Wolf,
The
Wolf or whatever. It's not an expansion.
Yeah, this is a relaunch of the game. So
it's the 9th edition core box set. Yeah. This is the starter. This is the starter box set. They do it every edition. The 3rd edition was Black Templars and
wasn't Dark Imperium 163, or what am I thinking of? I thought it was a little over 150.
I can't remember.
It wouldn't have been 163. They don't price odd like that, not on full box sets. But my guess is one. I might even say up to 2, but it would not. Most definitely wouldn't be over 2. And my guess is 150. This is what people buy to get into the game. This is the core product that they sell.
Hopefully around July, end of July, they're saying. So
that's what in the Eldar admin group we're talking is July-ish.
They said July. They have replied that they're hoping late July.
Well, this is before they officially put it out.
Yeah,
that we were
that's
talking.
What I'm saying.
Because they could just put it up for pre-order in the end of July.
Yeah, I mean, it could be the very last. Who knows? With the way I think they're not quite as able to, logistically say for sure with all this shit going on still. So, but it looks really cool. I'll be happy to get my hands on some of this other stuff when it comes out later for the orcs. So yeah.
Hey Jeff, do you think you're going to have rules for all that stuff for your Space Wolves?
Probably eventually.
Well, no, 8th edition. All the 8th edition stuff is still going to be valid, and they're supposed to be.
Do you have bikes for 8th edition?
They're going to be day 1 facts.
Okay, day 1 facts.
Yeah. Day 1 erratas and facts for all the books to bring them into 9th edition. Like 9th isn't supposed to be like a huge reset like 8th was. It's supposed to be part of the Living Codex series.
So they've already launched with some of the other beyond the box stuff. So that ATV model you're talking about is in there, the Invader ATV, the Firestrike servo turret.
Yes.
And the Locust heavy destroyer. I'm not that keen on him. He's a chunky boy. It'll be interesting to see how he looks pretty big. Different look to him for sure. But the one that really Canoptic Doomstalker. Oh my fucking god! This thing has the gun from the ship and all that, and the Necron barge and all that. That's what's on his head. That's what's on his fucking head, man. Plus, he's got 2 smaller.
You're talking about the Doomsday Arc?
Yeah, the Doomsday Arc mounted weapon. Yeah. The Doomsday Blaster. Oh, it's cool, and he's the big guy. He's got like 4 legs. He's just awesome. It's just a freaking awesome model. So yeah, they've already kind of started showing off all the new lines. So it's nice that Necrons are getting a revamp of their models.
Well, it looks like a lot of the new Necron stuff's just going to be in the box.
Yeah.
At least all the core stuff. So I'll take one.
Yeah, everybody's already going, can I get like 5?
Well, I did that with Dark Imperium. I think I got 3 Dark Imperium boxes or 2 Dark Imperium boxes when it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take this.
The models are, quite frankly, cost-effective wise between buying them individually. The models are so much cheaper that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even if you just split them with a friend or whatever, there's plenty of people out there that are sorting. I'll take this half if you take that half, and
Why do you think I'm asking Jeff if he can use that stuff in a Space Wolf army?
Joe wants to.
Yeah.
Joe wants to split the Necrons because he plays Necron. So he was asking what my feelings were on the Space Marines, and I'm sitting there. I was like, well, I play Kill Team now, so I guess.
Well, Kill Team's gonna be interesting because one of the things they changed with these new rules is swinging point levels to like the skirmish level stuff on up to huge, massive battles like 3,000 point armies. So
they changed the mat size, right? Or
to the minimum. To the minimum. Jesus, please don't go cutting your mats, people.
Oh, come on! Oh man, there goes my fun.
But see, what I'll probably do is I'll ship the bikes over to Guildy because I'm sure she'll do something with them.
Oh shit, yeah!
And then take the rest of them and make a kill team out of them. Because I don't think I can do anything with the bikes and kill team.
No, not yet.
That's the thing. Yeah, there were a lot of questions on the Twitch chat and stuff about people going, yeah, well, are you gonna, what does this mean for Kill Team with these different? And they're like, oh, Kill Team's still gonna be supported. So, which is your typical answer. Let's put it that way.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
They got a lot of money invested in Kill Team, and I don't think it's still wildly popular.
Well, and plus the thing is, Kill Team and Warcry are both very valid. It's almost like Commander and and versions of Magic. It's the same sort of thing, but it gets people into the big game too. It's still an entry level thing for it. So
yes, I'm excited to check it all out. But
I'm still hoping that eventually here we'll get another Horus Heresy box set, preferably one that is an actual beginning to play the Horus Heresy kind of thing. But we'll see.
Well, they discontinued the Betrayal Koth and the other one.
Yeah, those have been out of production for a while. Though they're still out there in the wild if you're lucky, But you can get it's either a 5 or a 10-man tactical squad online, but they're expensive, and that's the only place to get the non-resin.
Right.
And you can't get certain marks of armor, so anyway.
Yeah, well, Forge World discontinued a bunch.
Yes, they did. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm hoping they'll. In other news, Forge World's still not back up for sales yet, but when they do, I am so getting Karn the Betrayer, and I'm hoping pretty soon because they announced Saul Tarvis was going to be on the characters.
Hey, question. Since you're going after Karn the Betrayer, any interest in the Primarch?
You have Angron?
Yeah.
The resin Angron, I'm assuming?
The Forge World one? Yeah.
Holy crap. Oh.
Literally bought him.
I think your answer is yes.
Literally bought him on pre-order when he first became for sale. My grand scheme of things, what I was going to do is I was going to try to actually buy every Primarch as they came out, and then that stopped literally after the first one.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I am hoping to. Yes, I want him. Jesus.
I wish I'd have been that smart.
I had to find it laying around, but I have a resin first edition. It was like from when they first came out. So the molds,
oh my God.
the mold will be it was super crispy whenever this thing came out. And I don't think I've done anything to it. Like it's still brand new in box.
That would be awesome. He's on my list of, Karn the Bloody, I should say. Karn the Betrayer's 40k, but Karn the Bloody is the one I was going to start with because I like him a lot.
It's a gorgeous model.
Yeah, I really want a... first of all, I love the character series, so I want to slowly buy more of the character series. And also, I want a World Eater's army.
I have to order Johnson as soon as they come back up online.
Yeah. I'm waiting to see how long the site actually. I mean, I have it open constantly, and I'm always refreshing it. So I can't buy it yet. I'm like, yes, I can at least browse it now, but I can't buy them yet. I'm trying to start slow though.
Forge World's my kryptonite.
Yes, it is.
Me too.
Yes,
it's my Hot Wheels.
Yeah, it's my Hot Wheels. My Hot Wheels just happen to be made out of resin and cost a couple $100 per wheel.
Well, I've got to replace my Mortorian from the character series because somehow in my move from Arizona to here, I've lost the scythe.
Oh,
so
no.
I've either got to call them and see if I can have them sell me just that piece or buy a whole new one.
You pretty much have to buy a whole new one.
Yeah.
Unless you get someone.
I still have some friends over at GW that actually have Forge World contacts. I might be able to pull some strings, but I don't know yet.
Yeah, they're still kind of picky.
Oh man.
Okay, so I'm looking up Steve Irwin pop vinyls because my friend got one, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And
what?
Steve Irwin, crikey!
Oh my gosh! Okay, we changed subjects.
Yeah, I was like, that's a left turn.
That was left. Yeah.
Well, okay, so Steve Irwin has a set of pop vinyls that are out.
Yes.
And I knew of two different versions of him. I knew of him holding the crocodile, which is the normal version. And then I knew of the Chase edition, which is him holding a turtle. You can guess which one. You can guess which one I want.
The crocodile.
Well, actually, I know a place that's selling the crocodile one. But turns out there's actually a third edition, and it is the Funko Pop Shop limited edition. It's also, I guess it's a limited edition at a couple different Pulp Culture, which is, I guess, a convention for pops. And it's him holding a yellow python.
Really?
Yes, and it's actually really, really, really cool. But yeah, no, I really
glad I didn't get into pops.
I really want a turtle one. I really want the turtle one. So, I fought getting into pops forever, but yeah, I own way too many of them.
I just haven't found one that I really, really like and have to have.
Have you seen the Bob Ross ones?
Yes,
You silly girl.
Yes. I just don't care for them.
Oh my god, the Chase one is going for $50.
Is that bad?
A little pricey. It'd be my second most expensive pop if I got it. My first most expensive also is being a Bob Ross limited edition.
Is that the paint it yourself one, or is that the one with the squirrel?
I own two different paint yourself. Two different people actually bought that particular pop vinyl for me for my birthday. So I was like, okay. Not that I mind at all. Let's see. Bob Ross pop vinyl. So he has a lot of different pops. He has the one where he's just painting. He has the one with the raccoon.
Yeah.
He has the paint yourself DIY. There is the Deadpool Ross.
Yes.
You've got him with Hoot, which is a Chase,
Right.
the one with the owl. You have him with a giant paintbrush, which is a fairly common one. And then you have him, and there's another one. He has another Chase variant.
But you got him holding the palette also.
Yeah, him holding the palette, him holding the painting with Hoot, him holding the paintbrush. You have Deadpool, and then... Oh, dang it.
Ah, God.
And then you have the paint yourself one, and I know there's another one because I own like 5 of the damn things.
Yeah, there's one I'm missing too. I forget which one it is though.
Funny enough, the only one that I'm missing is him holding the big paintbrush, which is like for the longest time was the most common, and now it's actually starting to become kind of a pain in the ass to find. So the next time I see it, I need to get off my ass and just buy it.
Yeah, I got that one.
Everybody does because it was like the most common one everywhere.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I've seen that one at the Books A Million near me. So
yeah, mine it's the Target exclusive one.
God damn
That fucking Target exclusives are almost rarer than almost rarer than Chase ones.
Son of a...
Yeah.
I hate
Are
when.
you?
Listen,
Okay.
I got to run, everybody.
Hey, I'd recommend walking fastly. We don't want you hurting yourself.
Well, thanks for the invite, and I hope to see you guys soon.
Bye.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Bye.
I don't know. He had plenty of practice with his granddaughter the other day. He's probably pretty good at it.
That was kind of gone real quick. Hopefully everything's all right over on his side of things.
Well, it's later.
It's later for me. We're in the same time zone.
I was gonna say.
And also, he spent the morning with his granddaughter.
He's probably just going, okay, I can't.
He probably woke up and was like, oh, hold up, maybe I should just go ahead and go to bed. That's what it would have been like for me yesterday. Like, I almost... Oh my god, there's so many Stan Lees. I'm glad I did not try to start collecting those. And they're almost all convention ones, too. Yesterday, when we were originally supposed to record, I was so damn tired that would have been me. We'd have been laying there, or y'all would have been talking, and I've been like... I'd have woke up and y'all would have been off, and I'd have like a 20-hour long podcast. And I'm like, what the hell happened?
You wake up and we're still talking.
Which is
Bob Ross with the Hoot when you were listing off your Bob Rosses.
Oh, I know I have with Hoot.
Yeah, but when you got Hoot, you got the squirrel, you got the Deadpool, you got the palette, you got the paintbrush,
and there's also one with the squirrel.
Yourself.
There's also one with a squirrel.
Well, there's a raccoon and a squirrel.
Right.
So there's both. Yeah,
I think the Target exclusive one is the squirrel.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, they have a pet series. I did not know this, and they have a chocolate lab and a Maine Coon cat. Oh my god.
Would you stop?
Dude, I'm telling you, like, going through this right here and looking at stuff is so dangerous.
I think I'm going to turn my computer off.
Must not Google that. And usually that's what I go whenever it comes down to my like fandoms. I go after fandoms. Like I went after the Ninja Turtles, and I did not go after the Chase ones because
You mean collecting, not going after.
for me, going after is collecting. Because if I get my mind set on something, I go after it.
I'm just envisioning you running around to various fan conventions going, no, come to me!
Yeah. Not conventions, but going to different comic book shops and stuff. I absolutely have done that. I went to three different game shops today in the last couple days just to get the special promo that you can only ever get one of in a store. So I'm going to different stores. You have to buy something, and you get a reliquary tower.
Oh,
It's a special promo foil, and I was like, all right, okay, so, yep, okay, I was correct. Yeah, Peapod is the Target exclusive. He has the raccoon, the paintbrush, the hoot is the chase, and those are the 4 actual Bob Ross. Then you have the do-it-yourself, and then you have the Deadpool Ross.
See, that's the thing is, I don't like foils.
Send them all my way. Well,
I will. Every time I get those damn foil lands that they put in the packs now, I just throw them out. I hate foils.
Send them my way. I love foils. Okay, note to self, not sending you the special foil rat that I found that's worth actually a decent amount of money.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead and send it. No, I'm serious. It's my eyesight, I think, but it's very hard for me to actually read a foil card.
What is it?
Most of them don't integrate the foil.
You know the Restless? Was it Restless Rat? The one you can have as many of in your deck as you want, and it's kind of expensive. Relentless Rat. I actually have a foil one that I was going to send you.
No, that's okay. I have actually plenty of them, and I have some foils of those, which I have already. I have about 40 of those.
So is that a send it or don't send it? You've got me confused.
No. You go ahead and keep him.
Oh, okay. Well, I was trying to be nice.
Well, I get it. I appreciate it. It's just literally cannot. I just can't stand foils. They're so annoying.
I
gotta send you the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle party bus I got.
I cannot find the cars.
You can't find the cars?
Nowhere. I've looked and I've looked and I've looked. I've literally actually went out of my way.
You sent me a picture of something. I was like, what the flip?
Those were... I didn't like the look of them. There were some other collector edition stuff, and I was just like, I didn't dig them. They were too kiddish for me.
The cars are just... It's just Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle graphics on a regular car.
And that's fine, but those other cars were also... those other cars were also like $4 a piece.
Yeah, no.
And I was just like, not feeling them. They weren't all that great. So now the ones you sent me, if I'd have found those even at $4 a piece, I would have bought them because I'll
pick them up.
Yeah.
I will pick them up for you.
Yeah, if you can find them, awesome. Because I cannot, and I've actually went out of my way to look for them too.
No, they're still around. I'll pick them up. But I did pick up a party bus for you, which is a mainline car.
Party time, excellent.
Yes, it's a cool little bus.
So
I'll pick them up this week sometime. I'll hook up with you and I'll get your information and send them out to you.
Yeah. Oh, so any other cool things coming out? Did you talk about your little car game? Speaking of Hot Wheels.
Yes, we
little
talked about
car game, dude.
Yes, we talked about Gaslands.
My 13-year-old's behind me, and he's like, "There's a game with Hot Wheels."
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. In fact, that's what a lot of people were doing. Is
you'll have to talk to Mike later. You and him can do a podcast episode about Hot Wheels. Y'all get along.
Yes.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yes, I picked up more this week. I get a little carried away. But yeah, we talked about Gaslands quite a bit.
Every time I run by, because I used to buy some for my kids at the church, to fill in, because they would, like I said, they just wander off eventually, and they go on for 10 for $1 or whatever at the grocery store, and I'm like, oh, I should pick up some more. No, don't need them.
Well, now you have a reason to get them.
That's the problem. I can barely freaking store the shit I have.
But they're 99 cents and they're little.
yeah. You know what happened to me the other week? My husband came in because my birthday was last month, and my husband came in and he was like looking around, which he normally doesn't do. And he looks over at my pile of boxes. And he's like, these haven't even been opened.
Yeah.
It's like, shit, he noticed. Like, yeah, that's the emergency pile.
Yeah. I've got tons of boxes that aren't open. That's normal.
Okay, so Gaslands was on South Park.
What?
Gaslands is seen on Stan's shelf in an episode of South Park.
Really?
Go to gaslands.com, scroll down, and it has a picture as seen on South Park, and there's a thing of Gaslands, Nemesis, Affliction. I see Core Space, which I'm assuming maybe means Space Marines, Endeavor, Dune, and another game. And apparently...
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All
Gaslands
right.
is taking over, buddy. No, it is basically. So for us in the 80s that were playing old games, it's just Car Wars. It's what we wanted Car Wars to be when we were kids.
Yeah.
So,
or what you kind of made up for yourself, to be honest.
yeah, but we couldn't. Back then you didn't have the technology for 3D printing or the manufacturers making stuff for Hot Wheels. Like you were gluing maybe tubes and stuff on and saying they were guns, but. Now you've got manufacturers out there. You got miniature dudes, like little people. Oh yeah.
There's all kinds of stuff. Yeah, it's awesome.
Is Refueled out?
What's that?
Is Gaslands Refueled out already?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the hardback. That's the second edition.
All right. Well, the way they were... Mike Hutchison. Why do I know that name?
Hutchinson. He used to be the lead singer for INXS, but not different.
No. The name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's available on Amazon.
Oh, yeah. Everything's on Amazon.
Okay. Sure. Actually, I think it's available on like a PDF version too.
It is, but for games like that, I do prefer hardcover.
Yeah.
I know they had a copy at Gigabytes, but that doesn't help you, Larry.
But it's
it does because I have a
templates. So it's got movement templates like X-Wing.
Okay.
So based on the gear determines what movement templates you can use. You collect hazard tokens for certain things that you do, and when you get so many hazard tokens, you can wipe out. But pretty much you decide whatever scenario you want to play. You can just do like a death race type of thing, or you can do convoys or different things like that. There's scenarios in the back of the book. You got sponsorships and all kinds of cool stuff. It's just a fun. It scratches a lot of the nostalgia for me.
Holy shit! It looks like it looks like 2-day deliveries finally back on Amazon. Because there for a long time you didn't have 2-day delivery. It was like 2-week delivery.
Yeah.
Well, it depended on what you were ordering because they were actually putting priorities on certain orders over other things too.
Yeah, try ordering. What was that I ordered? Something microphone related, I think.
Oh, good luck. Yeah, I remember everybody stuck at home. Everybody's suddenly doing Twitch, and all the microphones and webcams are gone.
No, I already had.
Well, everyone had to switch over to Zoom.
I had
work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
No, I had all my microphones and stuff already, but I had to buy like one part, and it took like 2 weeks to get in. It's only $20. Okay, so the hardcover edition is $20 with Prime shipping.
Yeah, because it's Osprey. So Osprey doesn't charge a lot for books.
Exactly. I was going to say it's one of those Osprey books, so it's
awesome. It's $30 normally.
Okay.
The list price is $30, but it's on sale on Amazon for $19.29. Might have to get into this because I think the kiddo would actually enjoy this.
It's quick to pick up, from what I understand, and a lot of people like to play with kids.
All you got to do is go through turn 1, and you've got it down. Like you understand how the gears work and how the hazard tokens work, and you're just good to go. You just watch a few online videos. But it's a blast, dude.
What you will need?
Collecting Hot Wheels like me.
What you will need? Lots of Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
Well, and if you want me to take you down a different rabbit hole, there's a YouTube channel called 3D Bot Maker, and what it is, they race Hot Wheel cars on a track, and it is probably one of the most overproduced races you'll see for Hot Wheels, and it is amazing to watch.
Okay, what is
That
it?
sounds like the marble races my guys like to watch.
It's the same quality of the marble races, but
Okay.
it's Hot Wheels
Awesome.
on a track, and there's it's called 3D Bot Maker, BOT Bot Maker, because he was making when he started, he was doing 3D printing of like starting gates and turns and stuff like that, and then it just kind of stuck with him as his name. But it is die cast. It's Hot Wheel car race, and it is amazing. And when somebody goes off the track and dies, they treat it just like an actual death, and it is. It is. They make T-shirts in memory of the person, and
Oh my god.
I love how they actually have people in the stands too.
oh yes, oh
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, that sounds awesome. We gotta check that out because my kids love watching those marble racing things. I mean, they get really into it. They're like betting and not in the whole 9 yards.
I'm actually watching one of them right now. These things are not short either. This is like 17 minutes.
Yeah, some of them because they'll do full-fledged races like qualifying and brackets and the whole 9 yards.
and the brackets.
It's I
cool.
watched the marble race one too.
Yeah, I love the marble racing.
Apparently,
But
this is
it's
the
same
championship.
quality, so if
That's
you
cool.
if you imagine that marble racing one, the quality the guy puts into that, it's the same thing. It's just awesome. It is, yeah. So now I'm building a racetrack in my garage.
Ah! Yeah, it's like I was getting back into trains, trying to get a train layout built in my shed before it got taken over by wasps. But I had to give that up for a while for monetary reasons more than anything else.
I should send you all my train stuff.
Oh hell yeah, I'll take any train stuff.
Oh, what scale? Well, first of all, what scale did you?
Oh, HO.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I got
Because
it.
she's a hoe like that.
Hey.
Because I was getting into trains a long time ago, but I don't know. I just lost interest in trains. So
Yeah, I've not actually ever lost interest, but I haven't had. It's hard to have time for all these hobbies.
yes, yes, that's kind of what it is. I actually
Yeah.
got a digital track. I have the digital stuff.
Oh, cool!
Yeah.
We used to play A-Train and stuff like that. I love that game. Haven't had a decent train simulator since.
I'm watching the
Who's
Mustang
knocking
run
something
now.
around?
I'm trying to get a pumper to pump.
Oh, there you go. That's what I'm hearing. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it's not cooperating. God damn it! Fuck it.
But yeah, Gaslands it's fun, and the thing is, you really only need 2 or 3 cars. You don't need to go crazy.
Yeah, it
it's just hard
says-
not to.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the problem though. You only need one faction to play Malifaux. It's only a few models.
You only need one commander deck to play commander.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I was close to buying a commander deck, and there was a guy at the shop playing, and he was going to teach me. Luckily, I never pulled the trigger on that.
Thousands of dollars in my decks. Thousands.
Not necessarily. If you're not a spike and you're just wanting to have fun.
My decks are actually not spiky. I purposely make them non-spiky.
Yeah, just like the one you took to that Grand Prix you were talking about.
That was an accident, and I actually disassembled.
Accidentally spiked.
I disassembled that deck because it was too good.
You're the only one who Paul will ever say that and be serious, man. That was
I
good.
actually brought the Stompy army to wipe you off the table. It was just an
Yeah.
accident.
Oh god.
Oh my god, I can't believe this dude.
Like I said, that's my luck. I wouldn't be able to do those.
I can't believe this dude has like a full league. Oh no, he turned sideways. Damn, he probably lost some time there.
Yeah. And the thing that's funny watching it is those cars behave. You know, obviously sometimes they go backwards and things like that. But you'll be watching the cars behave, and like somebody will wipe out and the car just moves over and gets out. The cars just behave like real cars sometimes. And you're just like, that is just amazing. They're just Hot Wheels. Just running down a track.
They're so easily.
Y'all still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Apparently, when the ad tried to load, it almost crashed my Skype. So, apologies to the listeners who got to hear the blub 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 as everything went nuts.
So I just get lost for hours watching that guy's stuff.
And it's crazy because it's like, I'll line up 6 cars, and then he has like a little track. He doesn't change the track or anything. He just has it, and they run down the thing, and it takes like 6 seconds. But then you move on to the next car, and you're like, ooh, cool. Then it's the next car. Like, it's the Mustangs. Oh, it's the...
It's fascinating to see them behave differently, though.
Yeah.
Oh, it turned upside down. Oh, no, it got back on its wheels. It's going again.
Exactly.
Oh, play that driver.
Well, so you'll see he has 2 different tracks. He has an off-road track where they'll run like sport cars. Not sport cars. I don't know what they call themselves.
Rally cars?
Rally cars, yeah. And so you'll see that, and they'll do a series on that. He's starting the 3rd series up right now. And then you'll also see his main track, which he's redone it recently, so I don't know which video you're watching.
This one had like an S-curve in it.
Yeah, well, they're the same tracks. He made it more model trainish, where before it was like turf grass just laying on it.
No. This one looked like it was actually 3D printed. Note to self, I'm going to get my 3D printer up and start printing out freaking Hot Wheels tracks so I can start them at my studio and have them shoot all the way across the yard and make like whole bunch of turns and stuff.
Make really big loop-de-loops.
Have cameras set up everywhere.
All the files for his corners and his gates and everything are free.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can just download them, so you can just print them out.
Awesome. Hey, folks, I do think we need to start wrapping this up.
Okay.
We're coming up on 3 hours.
Well, that's what happens when you have stuff to talk about.
Especially about model cars.
Right. Well, let's keep some of this stuff to talk about like in the upcoming weeks. Maybe if we're bored, we might even record an extra episode next week.
We could have a wrap-up when they learn more about or not a wrap-up, but like another follow-up on the GW 9th edition stuff.
Yeah.
Sounds
I'm sure
good.
We're going to be flooded with information over the next couple weeks.
Yeah. And 9th edition's always got something good to talk about. New editions. Yeah. Tell you what, being an admin in one of the bigger 40k groups, this is one of our worst times.
All the whining.
Oh my.
That's what we were talking about earlier with Jeff.
Yes.
And then all the speculations that's completely and absolutely wrong. Or people bitching about shit that literally they have no idea about.
Yes. We play with little plastic people. Let's just move on. All right, guys. Well, then let's wrap it up.
Yeah, I gotta go anyway, so.
Well, it was good hanging out with everybody.
Yeah.
I think we lost Larry again.
No, I'm here. Oh. I'm dealing with an issue. Some person's trying to butt up against me okay. No. It's in the misprint group, and this guy's like, he's been in the group for like 4 months, and he's talking a whole bunch of shit, and he called out like one of the people that's been around forever, and I called him out and was like, I was like, hey, you've been in this group for 4 months, you may want to consider chilling it a bit. If you think something breaks the rules, report it and let the admins do their job. Yes. And then I misread the connotation, blah, 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 blah. Also have zero idea why my amount of time in a group needed to be called out, though. Interesting tactic. I was like, because I was like, the moment you posted this, so-and-so, I'd suggest you learn what this page is and what items are being auctioned. That person he called out was actually, he's been around the group for years and is really well respected. So I was like, the moment you posted this to a well-respected member of this community is when your lack of time in this group and knowing what you're talking about came into play. Yeah. I might catch a mute for it because I'm quote-unquote arguing with people and the admins don't like that. I'm trying to stay very kosher about it, but this dude's like really seriously starting to become an absolute twat waffle, and I'm just like, I'm doing everything in my power just not to post the shut the fuck up. Like I did.
What the fuck have they done to the Gatherer?
They're in the process of really, I don't know. Let me actually go there now because now you have me.
Anyways, we should wrap up.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, because what the hell?
Right?
It was
Am I
just.
On the wrong site?
I'm thinking you might have been because if you're looking at what I'm looking at.
I usually just Google it. It's the last link I came up with. The G. The Slot Games Workshop.
Oh, man. Oh, the controversy in Magic right now. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about that one. That one.
Let's not. We can save that for another time because it's important, but.
It is important, but is
Talking
it...
about the banning of cards.
Yeah. Is it virtue signaling? Too little, too late? Or something
are they
that
playing
should...
catch up, or are they so out of tune that... I don't know.
It's one of those things...
It was an old dead card, so...
No, it's seven. It's 7 cards, and you're correct. They're all dead. Only one saw moderate play, or 2 of them saw some play, and that was back in the day. Actually, let's go ahead.
The timing is atrocious.
Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you, everyone, for coming and listening to Models Workshop After Hours. You can find us over on Facebook at facebook.com/The Models Workshop. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at MWAH Podcast. I haven't been posting as much as I should, but if you send me a message, I will definitely get back to you. Also, if you play Pokemon Go, reach out. I'll be glad to invite you as a friend and send you packages from the good old state of Indiana, Massachusetts, New York, and Vermont, because I travel for a job. You can also find us on iTunes, on all the cool places, iHeartRadio, Stitcher. You can find us everywhere. And if you're already listening to us, you're doing good. And you can find us over on YouTube at youtube.com/Models Workshop. Those should also be coming up here soon again as well. But thank you for tuning in. We look forward to it. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, or anything else, keep them to yourself. Nah, just joking. Just reach out to us and let us know. If you have an idea for a show, let us know. We might actually take it and do it. But thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.